see if motherfucking trailer.
Would you like to see Gorosaurus versus Man, the solo trilogy from Toho? No, I would not, because nobody gives a shit about those two monsters. So let's be real, honestly. With the exception of a handful of Toho monsters, a lot of them really suck.
Whatever it takes to stop the motherfucking lie.
Look at this guy's got glasses. Oh, a sophisticated zombie.
I heard Rodan's in here. I don't know if I don't know if I missed him.
I missed Rodan. On top of the volcano, I missed Rodan. Flying over the water, I missed Rodan. He's been confirmed, established 2014, right here on E.T.N motherfucking N.
I have only ever loved one woman. And it ain't you, bitch. Poof. Bye-bye. Have a nice trip. See you next fall, because winter's coming.
I figured, I thought it was pretty good. I thought I liked it. I enjoyed it. And number one is Godzilla. Godzilla?
Motherfucking trailer.
All right, all right, all right, all right. What's going on, Jonathan? What's going on, Omni? Robert, Venom, AK, Josh. How's everybody doing tonight? Alex, Mel, Melamel. Da 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 da. Ankit. Ba da ba 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 ba. Ba da ba da ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba ba da ba. Ba da ba ba. Ba 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 ba. All right. I guess I'll have to give people the 10-minute grace period. What's going on, Boku? Moxie. Yeah, is that the Scorpion sequel? I think somebody told me. Yeah. What's going on, Javier? I'm doing good, Scottish. Thank you. Yeah, I'm letting it. I'm not cutting it. I'm not doing anything with it till Monday because I start work Tuesday. So Monday I'll give it a trim. I have to do it myself though, but my stylist is in Tennessee. She won't be back till next Friday, a week from today. What's going on, Assassin?
I have to be honest, I love our community. I really do. It is a good community. I agree. Home in time, had to pick me up some fried pork chops and fried okra and tater tots and banana pudding. Why even bother with the okra? Well, it's fried. Okay, never mind. It's fried, so it's all bad. the Beatles gone now. He's gone. I'm glad I got a chance for you guys to see it because he's gone. Went down there this morning. It was nowhere to be seen. Went back in the afternoon. Nowhere to be seen. Is that what Legendary Destroyer is going to look like? I don't know what you're referring to. I watched it Tomorrow War last night. Yeah, it was a pretty fun movie. Yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe he snuck in your house. He's not gone. He just moved into your apartment. Yeah, it's everybody's probably in your house. The story. No, I know you talk about the story from Godzilla. I don't know what you said. Is that what Legendary Destroyer is going to look like? And I was like, I don't know. I know who Destroyer is, but I don't know what you're referring to as to what it's going to look like. Yeah, I had to put on the rainbow eyes today. I got a couple of my lights up, but not many of them. What's going on, Aldofanica? Yeah, I popped in the rainbow eyes. Hopefully he pays rent money. He won't have to, because if he came in here, I'm just going to whoop his ass. You'd see me like with my shoes like, ah! I'm just going to close my eyes and run up to him and go like this and pray for the best. That's all I can do. Also, Space Godzilla, we're about to get heard from him, but we just don't know when. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, again, I know who Space Godzilla is, but you're just throwing out some random shit. Did you watch a show on Netflix called Fear Street? It comes out today. No, I didn't. It came out today. I didn't even hear about it. I don't even know what it is. What's going on, Vinyl? What's it about? Is it like a reality show or what's the deal with that? What's the deal with that thing? All right, we're just doing a little grace period. For some reason, I find that Fridays people just show up late. No, Beatles gone. Oh, you were watching a new Godzilla anime? So you think Space Godzilla's gonna show up? He might. A series of books by the author of Goosebumps. Again, I don't know. I didn't read Goosebumps. I'm too old for that. Rob, did you see the parts of the Gulf of Mexico is on fire due to an explosion of an underwater pipe? No, I didn't even know about that. I watched Gundam Hathaway. I was pretty lost because I never watched the others, but it was a well-made movie. Oh yeah, it's the new Gundam movie, yeah. It's like a horror version of Goosebumps. Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't. Just finished watching the previous stream that I missed. Your reaction on that first Ghost video was priceless. Dude, that first Ghost video was insane. Dude, I don't know if chat was running on playback in that stream, but just read the chat. Even chat was like, what the fuck? Raven. Raven. Tell your mother, did she get a green bone? Tell your mother to give her a bone so she can leave you alone. She's picking on my son. She's so big, so she just bullies him. I'm excited to see Abomination versus Wong. Yeah? I had a nightmare from that first clip, Jesus. Yeah, that first Ghost video was crazy. The whole video was good, except like the last part of that video was pretty weak, but everything in that video was good. And then the second one was decent, but compared to the first one, it was just... On last night's stream was when Acno's girlfriend turned 18. Oh my god, yeah. Did you tell your mother to get... You can't reach. She has to get it from the top of the fridge. Poor... Listen, she's just playing with you. Raven! My son's crying now. Alright. You hear him? All right. Should we call the cops? Nah.
No, stop it.
Yeah, she has every now and then she teases my son. Not teases him, but she kind of plays a little too aggressive, and she's big. So like my son is still short. He hasn't had his growth spurt yet. So she just like nips at his cheek and his head, and it's pretty she doesn't bite him hard. She doesn't pierce skin, but he's trying to sit down and relax. She just keeps annoying him. So give me 1 second here, guys. Now she's running. Oh, you guys should see this. This is funny. She's literally running around the house and she's hopping over. Oh, there she goes. And my dog just was running sprints around the couch and then leapfrogging over a box on the floor. Can you give her a mint bone? He couldn't. He can't reach it. It's on top of the fridge. She can't reach it either. Rob Dangerville put up their review of Singular Point. Mr. H really liked it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad people liked it. That's the important thing. Have you tried showing Nukes to your kids? Nah, they'd be too scared. I don't think we will see him again, sadly. Rob, how come you don't like Godzilla versus Space Godzilla? I just think it's kind of lame. It's kind of the whole baby Godzilla thing is the whole Godzilla Jr. thing. Like he's getting captured, and then he's like floating in his legs. It's just stupid. And then it's a lazy boss. You know, it's a lazy enemy. It's this Godzilla with big old crystals on his shoulders, and it's just a lazy movie altogether, in my opinion. Nukes isn't for the weak-hearted. No, not that episode last night. That was crazy. Rob, did you enjoy the Loki episode 4? I did enjoy it. I've enjoyed Loki, the show so far, all overall. It's probably the best one out of the 3. Well, yeah, I would have to say so, because I liked WandaVision. I would say the weakest one of the 3 is the Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, this destroys oxygen and Ghidorah regenerates. Rob, love the camera placement. It's good. Yeah, somebody told me it was too low yesterday, but I was like, not that low, right? It's just that I tend to lean forward. I just got the Guyver anime. I can't wait to watch it. Love the movies. Yeah, I like the Guyver. Rob livestream with the following, showing off their unique Godzilla stuff and sharing when Godzilla started meaning something to them. I inspired by your stream the other day. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got a little emotional. Well, I got emotional with the Voltron part because that part reminded me of like my grandmother and my uncle, of course. My uncle's still alive, but my grandmother died a long time ago. Does anything in Nuke stick with you? I couldn't stop thinking about some of those yesterday at night. Definitely that first one in the car. That was probably one of the best clips he's ever shown on this channel. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. I mean, that was so clear, and there's no way you could fake that. There's no way the guy's driving. That's probably some of the best footage I've ever seen. Hey, Rob, where's your coffee, man? Since I have not yet seen it. Yeah, it's right here. It's always there. Okay. Almost done with it already. So what time is it? 2 more minutes. Rob, is Godzilla 98 a totally different character now since Toho regretted it after? Or is it still Godzilla but a different version? It's just Godzilla. It's just an American interpretation of Godzilla. That's all it is. Like I know a lot of people don't like it, and I don't know why people have to go to the extreme. Like they try to denounce it. Like you can't denounce it. Like, I mean, you can try, and you can try and be in denial, but it's a Godzilla movie. For better or for worse, it's a Godzilla movie. It's just, it's a Godzilla movie a lot of people particularly don't like. But if you really truly are going to be fair and objective and take your biased fandom out of the picture, it's actually not a bad movie. And if you look at it compared to a lot of Toho Godzilla movies, it's actually better than most of them. Just on pure presentation alone, let alone the basic concept. The problem is it doesn't look like Godzilla that we know and love. But, I mean, Godzilla's had a lot of different looks over the years. That was just a look that was really, really far from what we're used to. So, but again, I'm not trying to convince people they have to like it. You don't have to like it. But it's a Godzilla movie, I mean, I've said that for years now. Deny it all you want, but it isn't that bad. It made new fans. Yeah, it did make a lot of new fans. A lot of people don't give it that much credit. Like, a lot of people, there were a good number of people that became Godzilla fans because of 98. And they've embraced the Toho stuff, and they, of course, embraced the legendary stuff. Sometimes it's not about necessarily how he looks, but just the idea of what he is. Rob, do you think it's impossible for Toho and the MonsterVerse to make another Godzilla that can beat 54 nowadays? I don't think it's impossible. It's just that the reason that movie's always going to be number one is because it hit close to home for a lot of people that live in Japan. So, but you can make a good. It's just without linking him to a tragedy. It's hard. You know what I mean? Because Godzilla's not treated like Kong, right? Kong is very relatable in some senses. He has a better way of communicating with the audience. Godzilla's never really had that. He doesn't really communicate with the audience. He doesn't. So if you're not going to do that with him, you have to tie him to a tragedy. You almost have to make him the villain all the time. You have to make the audience not necessarily hate him, but fear him. And when I say fear, it doesn't have to be anything like horrific. It has to be an idea. So that's why 54 is so, revered, because the idea was that Godzilla represents nuclear fallout, nuclear holocaust. The nuclear bomb. And that's tough to top, because what's worse than a nuclear bomb? Well, Kong and Godzilla are the alphas, that's why. 98 had some good characters, Animal, Mr. French. Yeah. 98's not a bad movie. When I was little, I always thought of the idea of Abomination returning. Did you see the new leaked Spider-Man suit? I think I did. I want to say I think because I saw it posted somewhere and then I kind of looked away. But I remember seeing multiple like images or figures or whatever it was. I think it were like toy figures, like Lego. But there was more than just one character there. And it was a toy version of him, so it didn't I really couldn't make the suit out. I would have had to have stared at it to kind of figure out what the suit looked like, but I didn't want to know, so I turned away. So I glimpsed at a Lego toy that was Spider-Man with what appeared to be a new suit, but I couldn't really make the new suit out. I'll put it that way. At least Godzilla, the animated series, was better than 98. I think Toho is hiding some more secrets for Godzilla films. Just don't hold your breath. They've been, I don't know what their ideas are, but so far what they've put out has not been that great in recent memory. I think Godzilla can be looked at as a hero. I went up against another Godzilla and chose to kill him to save humanity. E.T.N and chat, sorry for making chat heated yesterday and annoying y'all. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Most of us were too busy watching Nukes, so I wouldn't worry about it. '98 was my first Godzilla movie. Helped me get into Godzilla. Yeah. It looks like ass. Well, don't say anything. I don't want to know anything, so. Ever seen Maze Runner? No. It's not like another one of those tweeny drama movies like the Hunger Games and shit like that. Never really got into that. Like there was that whole mid like 2012 to 2018. Yeah, like the Twilight series. You had the Divergent series. You had the Maze Runner series. You had the Hunger Games and all that shit. All these little teeny bopper movies trying to like cash in on what Harry Potter was. I never watched any of them. I think I watched the Twilight ones, obviously, but I never even watched, like I watched the first Hunger Games and that was it. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I'm not interested. And I watched the Twilight movies because my wife liked them. No, it wasn't. Well, Twilight kind of shifted into, it's kind of hard to explain, but when I first saw the Twilight movies, I was with my first wife. And then I finished watching the series with my current wife. So, because it came out, the first one came out in 2008. And then the next one came out in either 2010 or 2011. By then I was already with my current wife. So, yeah. Don't worry, Japan, jeez. Well, don't worry, Jason, jeez. I won't get the chat that heated. Oh. Rob, I always thought there was a big explosion before Kong had hit Godzilla with the axe. I never thought he actually hit him. Yeah, he did. It would make sense for Godzilla to come up 40 seconds after. Yeah. Have I watched Vikings? No. All right. Anybody watch the did anybody watch the Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt that came out last night on Amazon Prime? Well, I don't know why they said it came out today. I watched it yesterday right after the stream. All right. I'm going to assume a lot of people didn't watch it, so I'm not going to spoil it. So I will say this. It kind of, pacing-wise, it reminded me of Godzilla vs. Kong. Because it was just about the same length, 2 hours. It was fairly fast-paced. And I thought it's not a movie without its issues. But I will say what I liked about the movie, number one, the acting was actually really good. Chris Pratt, as usual, delivers, okay? There's another woman, I forget her name, but she's like one of the future colonels. She did a really good job. I was impressed because they had some scenes in the movie that were rather emotional scenes that normally the way they set it up, like the way it was set up, it shouldn't have triggered any emotional reaction from you, because some of them were very telegraphed. Like I knew within the first 10 minutes of the movie that he was going to meet certain people in the future. I'll just put it like that. So I thought that was pretty telegraphed. So because of that, I'm like, okay, so we know where this is going. But because they acted out so well what some of the events that happened in the future, I was like, wow, this really kind of hurts. But I want to talk about the ridiculous things first and some of the stuff that I thought was stupid. All right, first thing. Now, this one is not a spoiler because they show it in the trailer. So if you've seen the trailer, you see that there's a soccer game going on and these people come out of like this cloud and they land on, not a cloud, but you know, they arrive from the future and it's like this portal opens and all this and they land and they say, we need your help. So that is the first time the future contacts the past for help. And I thought it was absolutely ridiculous that they do this on a soccer field. You're going to tell me that you're going to, first of all, the government, the first thing they would do is start mobilizing infantry and the Air Force when a portal opens up in the middle of a soccer game and people randomly land on the field armed with weapons. But no, they land, and then suddenly the chick has a mic. She's like, we need help. So I saw this and I'm like, all right, That's stupid. That is absolutely stupid. Why wouldn't they time travel to Washington or send one person, send a messenger? Like, yo, look, I'm from the future, okay? And this is what's going on. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, you saw the spot in the trailer. That is the first time they made contact. It is absolutely stupid. I thought to myself, that is so dumb. Why would they do that? And why would the government not respond in kind? So, all right. So we get by that. So basically, obviously, you know the concept of the movie. The concept of the movie is that humanity is losing a war against aliens, and they're basically travel to the past to recruit. Now, the interesting concept in the movie is that they only recruit people that are like going to die within the next 10 years. So like, or people who have already died, and there's like people who are already dead during their timeline or are going to die in a certain time period are the only people who get recruited. And they recruit anybody. They're so desperate. So basically, it's crazy. Like the future, at the time they contact the past, there's only 500,000 people left on the planet. There's only 500,000 people left on the planet. And which is pretty mind-boggling until you meet the aliens, which I got to tell you are the stars of the show. These aliens are so badass. Some of the best alien designs I've seen in such a long time. They're not, because of the way the movie's filmed, they're not perceived as scary, but they could have been, but they are creepy. Like they look crazy, but it's not really even how they look so much as how they move, their roars, their durability. So these aliens, so they call them white spikes, and basically they're like, I can't even describe what they're like, but they just think of like some of their features are similar to that of a porcupine, but they don't look anything like a porcupine. Don't get me wrong. But the features in terms of like they throw quills out, and when you shoot them, they turtle up. So like they can cover themselves, and like their armor, like their only weak spot is their belly. But because they're hunched over, it's hard to hit them in the belly. So unless you get a limb shot, or if you just gotta pepper them with bullets. But it takes like, if you're shooting one and you're not hitting the weak spot, you're looking at like, I don't know, 2 clips to take one out. And if you're lucky, you can get a headshot on them, but they're fucking fast. Like they can literally dodge bullets, not in the sense of I see the bullet coming and I'm gonna move, just that you shoot and they start doing these evasive maneuvers. Like they're not necessarily, they're trying to avoid fire. And because they're so fast, they can actually do it. But it's not that they can't get hit. It's kind of hard to explain. You got to watch the movie. Some of you who have watched the movie, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's not like they can dodge bullets. It's just that they're so fast that when you're shooting them, they start running. Like, they're smart, too. That's the other thing that's scary about them. They're smart. So when you start shooting at them, they start running in zigzags. They know how to, like, they know how to flank. And they're just incredibly, and they're big. They're big. Like, you don't realize how big they are until they get next to a human, and they're like twice the size of a human. They're faster, they're stronger, and they have these quills they throw at you. They can obviously, they eat you. They eat humans. So, so I would say, so I saw this and I thought to myself, oh man, I know I'm going to piss off a lot of Alien fans for this, but let's be real, man. Xenomorphs got nothing on these fucking guys. These fucking guys would trounce Xenomorphs. It's insane, man. So, so they go to so anyway, they recruit anyone. Like, there's even this fat bearded dude, not like me, that he's just there with a rifle. And they drop these people and they stand in this big open space. And you hear this like a siren type noise go off, and suddenly you see people being pulled up into like thin air, and they enter the portal. And as they're doing that, you can see how terrified the people are. But because they had a problem with like the transportation, the first drop into the future is literally a drop. Like usually when they warp in from the portal, they're like 10 feet above the ground, and then they slowly glide down, and then they land on their feet. These guys got dropped from the sky. So there's like half the people are landing in a pool on a roof, half the people are hitting half the roof and then falling to their death. It's just brutal. So Chris Pratt's character, he is basically a father of one daughter, and then he has his wife, and he's kind of like down on his luck. He was trying to get this job at like a biolab. He has like 15 years of military experience, or 10 years or something like that. But then he uses some sort of, I guess, military education. And when he left the military, he became a scientist. Then he had trouble getting a job in science because he didn't have any private sector experience. So he became a teacher. And then he went after this big job that he had all the credentials for. He didn't get the job. He was like just very upset. He was depressed. And he has a good relationship with his daughter. And then this thing happened, and he gets summoned to the future because of his age. Obviously he's in shape. Military experience is a big deal. So he gets called to the future with a bunch of people. Some of the people have military experience, but a lot of people don't. And these people, they send these motherfuckers there with clothing. Like if I got drafted, I'd be going like this. They weren't even giving them gear. They gave them a gun and said, stand there, and that's it. Like you're basically like a meat shield. Now, to the credit, like some people were really scared, but excuse me, props to like some of the civilians that made it there that did some work. I don't want to spoil it, but there's this one cool scene where two basic civilians just had a great scene. It was like in the very beginning of the movie. One was this lady and one was this fat dude. And you'll see. It's a pretty dope part. I felt bad for them, but at the same time, it kind of makes you feel proud of them that they stepped up to be deployed for 7 days, and most people don't make it. I think they said in the movie, like, the return rate for people who are deployed to the future war is 20%. So, like, 20% of people come back. And then a lot of people who come back with no limbs, come back. It's crazy. But the movie is really fast-paced. The story is unique. It's a very simple story. It is unique, and it does have a very interesting ending, which I'm not going to give away, because you kind of find out the alien origins, and it's in that sense, it's pretty original, which that was a nice surprise. It's a pretty original origin story for an alien, and a very interesting solution on how to kill them. Like that's the other thing. You don't get no stupid water kill, right? From like War of the Worlds or Signs. You don't get no just overpower, nuke them from orbit type shit. This is a well thought out, if not rushed, solution to killing the aliens. Like I said, nothing. They mass produce so fast, and they're so ferocious. It'll take a team of people to kill one of these things, but one of these things can kill a team of people. And that's why you have like the population of the Earth is like 500,000. So you guys frozen? Oh, just hit the refresh button. Yeah, you might have to hit the refresh button. Hold on. Yeah, if you hit refresh, it should work. Sometimes that happens. So the movie, I thought the movie was good overall. It has some dumb parts. There are some things they do in a movie that are too telegraphed. There's a very good storyline with Chris Pratt's main character and like the colonel of the future, and some of the solutions and it's a very telegraphed story in the human standpoint. It's a good story, but it's very telegraphed. Like you could easily predict it. I was more, but it was still good. Like I was still kind of like, wow, this is, I'm surprised. Because the way the movie starts is kind of dumb. and I was like, oh no. I'm like, uh-oh. But it got better as it went. But I was really taken back by the story about the aliens and their origins and their solution to defeat them. Ooh, sorry for that. And that's another thing that was telegraphed. How they go about defeating them. Not the solution they come up with, but the execution of that solution is also very telegraphed. You can see it coming a mile away. But with that said, it is a very good movie. I want to watch it again. Plus, Chris Pratt is just awesome to watch on screen. There are not many comedy moments, and there's I remember like maybe one or two, and they don't really land too well for me because the movie's not super serious, but it's serious enough that some of the comedy that they try to put in there doesn't fit. But the good thing is that they don't go heavy-handed. Like I said, I remember maybe one or two like comedy attempts during like these action sequences, and that's it. So that's a good thing. And then there's some other like quips, but that's like during family moments, and that kind of totally fits. So otherwise, it was fun. It was crazy. It does have its issues with some of the things that happen in the movie, like again, the whole coming to Earth or coming to the past on a soccer field and not contacting the government first. And then on top of that, at the end, when you find out what they're trying to do and Chris Pratt goes back, it's this, there's another thing that happens with the government that makes you say, well, wait a minute, why are they skeptical about this, but they didn't question when people landed in the middle of America during a soccer game? So there's a lot of stuff that, again, I don't want to give it all away, but there's some just simple writing like mistakes. But again, the acting is really good. The action is good. The aliens are dope, man. I can imagine this alien as a kaiju. I gotta be honest, it's one of the first things I thought. I'm like, man, if this alien was a kaiju, holy shit. They look badass. They're nasty. They're fucking durable as shit. They're fast. They're ferocious. I mean, like I said, man, it takes like 10 or 12 men to bring this thing down. I'm talking full automatic weapons, because you'll see like they see when like humans put their guns up, they immediately like turtle down, like it's almost like they cover themselves, and you just see the bullets hit them, but it doesn't do anything. It's just crazy. So yeah, what I would say is, if you haven't seen it, go see it. How many hours do I get of sleep? It's not that I don't get any sleep. It's just that it's an active day. By the time I'm like 8 o'clock is usually when I would unwind and relax. That's why I'm yawning now, because it's like if I wasn't streaming, I'd be like this, probably dozing off. Yeah, the white spikes are no joke. Smaller version of a Cloverfield monster? No, because they have little quills all over their body, but they don't shoot the quills from their body. They shoot them from these like two tails they have, and these things are fast and like, yeah. Can they dodge the axe easily? You bet they can't beat the Predators? I mean, in sheer numbers, the Predators wouldn't stand a chance. Like, I mean, the Predator has an advantage of cloaking. But you know what it is? These aliens in this movie are fucking smart. Like, you wouldn't think it when you first see them, and then you start seeing them do crazy shit. You're like, whoa, these fuckers are smart. And they adapt. I did see episode 4 of Loki. Yeah, if you're just a general monster fan, you'll like the movie, because the aliens alone are just dope. Oh, not the speed of light, but they're fast. I don't even think a xenomorph would have a chance to, like, I don't think they would be able to plant an egg in this thing. I just don't see it. I don't, I mean, they adapt. Like, there's this one scene where one of them gets like this shit, like one of the humans throws like this bomb or something on his hand, and the hand starts to melt. So, and it looks like it's going to like spread. So before it has a chance to spread, the alien just bites his hand off and stops it. I mean, it's insane. Yeah, acid for blood, but that's the problem. How do you get, if you're an alien, see, alien has to be melee range. These things will tear them apart melee range. And based on what I saw in this movie, I'm not even 100% convinced the acid would be enough to kill them. It would definitely hurt them. But when I say these things are durable, I mean they're durable. And they don't have to melee fight the xenomorph. They can pick them apart from a distance. They're faster than the xenomorph. They're bigger than the xenomorph. And they shoot an insane amount of quills from their body that would certainly pierce a xenomorph. I just don't see a xenomorph killing them. I don't. A xenomorph's best chance to kill them is melee range, and even that, even that, I don't think is enough to beat them. Well, no. So you can't do this depending with xenomorph. No. I'm talking regular xenomorph. They don't have, look, these aliens don't have any special powers when they suck somebody into somebody's body. I'm talking xenomorph, alien, traditional. Okay? I'm not talking about the overpowered ones that feed off of different species. All right? Because then what's going to happen is when you start going down that route, you'll be like, well, if a xenomorph, if it was a xenomorph mixed with Godzilla, then you motherfuckers would come up with some crazy shit like that. Let's not get crazy. Yeah, either way, xenomorphs are at a disadvantage. The monsters from A Quiet Place, all those things do is run into people and tackle them, right? That's basically what they do, and then they shred them apart. That's similar to what these guys do. Only I find these guys to be smarter. See, that's to me what makes these aliens scary in this movie. They actually show intelligence. They adapt. Like, you see any alien movie, it's the same shit. You got a swarm of aliens running at people. They're getting shot up. They just keep coming. These motherfuckers, they get shot. They start running in zigzag, or they'll turtle down and block the bullets. They're not, despite the fact that they have mass numbers, and they do have their moments where they're just running at people. But if they're running at people and they're getting shot up, it's only because it's like a narrow corridor or they're in a building. But if they're out in the open, you're not hitting them with bullets. Them motherfuckers are dodging left and right. And they can float. When they jump in the air, they have like that ability, like you ever seen the flying squirrel? Where the flying squirrel goes like this and they flap out like these little, like what they call that? Like gliding wings. These guys have the same shit. I'm telling you. It's insane, man. Quiet Place monster is a tank. They'll smash into anything. Yeah. Go watch this movie. Go watch. These dudes, they're not small. They're small. They're not small. They move like they're small. They have melee where they can just rip you apart. They have ranged weapons. This the dopest creation for an alien I've ever seen on cinema, honestly. Destroyer in his tiny crab form would kill these aliens.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop fucking lying.
Don't lie. Come on now. The fuck out of here. You be tripping. I don't see I think predators would get the jump on them because predators have the advantage of stealth. The problem is, once these aliens know where the predators are, their stealth ain't gonna help them. Because they also have a smell for blood. I just don't see how the predators would handle them. I guess the question is whether or not the predators could pierce the top of their armor. Rob, you saw this in cinema? No, it's on Amazon. The aliens dodge faster than Kong. Well, they should. They're a lot smaller. Yeah, Tomorrow War is really good. I'm going to watch it again. The best shot for the Predators have is their plasmatic nukes in their wrist because use that and they might... Yeah, well, bombs. Yeah, bombs working. They're not immune to bombs. Plus, you have the Omega, which can turn back the day and they learn from the day before. The Omega? What are you talking about? Omega from what? Can these aliens stretch further than D-Man? Predators would be murked. I haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow in a long time, so I'd have to take a look at those aliens again. But like I said, those aliens were not memorable. These are memorable aliens. Like, these are the kind of aliens I want to see on screen again, honestly. I think Xenomorph can beat the male aliens since they seem to be smaller and weaker, but not the queen. No, the male aliens are smaller than the queen, but they're still bigger and faster than Xenomorphs, and they still have ranged ability. Look, I don't think there's much to debate. If you're going by on-screen presentation, these aliens would utterly destroy Xenomorphs. And they would utterly destroy most Xenomorphs, even ones that take over other bodies. A Xenomorph would have to take over like God, all right, to beat these guys. Yeah, well, I've been letting it grow because I start work on Tuesday, and I'm waiting till the last minute to cut it, so I go in looking fresh. Do you think they can beat the monsters from A Quiet Place? Yeah, I think so. Every time Robin tries to debate, he always loses. Oh, thanks, Kaiser. The Edge of Tomorrow aliens were just formless puddles of sentient black mud with the ability to respawn. Yeah, I gotta see. That's a good movie, by the way, Edge of Tomorrow. The queen alien from this movie, kaiju size versus Godzilla. It would give Godzilla a hard time. You know? It's just that the way Godzilla is presented, he's almost like... In most movies, not all, but in most movies, his armor is almost impenetrable. That's why I said most movies, and I said almost. So I think he could handle the quills. But if you put one of these aliens in kaiju size, they're not going to be that fast. You know what I mean? The whole perception of speed changes when you grow in mass. So if you're looking at this alien versus Godzilla in melee range, it's a toss-up. Honestly, it's a toss-up. I'll be fair. The problem is that it's hard to kind of see how far Godzilla's atomic breath would take him. You know, would they be able to block that? I don't think so, but who knows? Because if you take that carapace they have on their back when they hunch over to block fire, the mass of that also increases with size. So in other words, it's going to get stronger. So the question is, does it get strong enough to block his atomic breath? But if Godzilla lands one shot on their chest, they're done. That's a guarantee. So it would be a good fight, but I think if Godzilla lands one haymaker in the belly, it's over. Because that is their weak spot. I don't watch Doctor Who. The Dailies could kill them, just fly and shoot. They have the shields. The Daleks can kill them by flying and shooting. So I guess you didn't hear the part where I said that they have a carapace on their back that can pretty much block most ranged weapons. Yeah, I guess you didn't hear that part. Yep. Yep. Yeah, let's shoot down right on their armor. Yeah, I'm going to be adding more GIFs for tomorrow's stream. And I will say this. I like this movie so much. It inspired me to alter drastically my dream Godzilla movie, which I'll be talking about tomorrow. Yeah, I'd have to look into it, Raptor. I don't watch Doctor Who, so I don't know. Maybe I'll watch a clip or something. I'm not gonna watch the show just for. Well, yeah, an Infinity Snap, sure. I mean, that'll do it. But I think that'll pretty much do anything. So. Oops, my camera's acting up again. Hold on. Hold on. There it goes. Goddamn camera. Yeah, I fixed it. I don't know why it's doing that so much. I even thought after I moved it, I wouldn't do that anymore. But I guess I was wrong. Oh, now my fucking microphone is dipping. Why are you doing this to me today? Tight. All right, I guess that'll do. Rob, how about the alien from the movie Life with Ryan Reynolds? Do you think I never seen it? Well, tell me about it. If I remember right, the Dalek's main weapon is a laser that completely evaporates its target, so I don't think its armor is going to do anything. Well, I mean, I guess anything that has an evaporation weapon would win against anything, right? So, okay, so the Daleks win. You should watch the movie, Rob. Watch what movie? That just came out of nowhere. Oh, Life. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, the Beetle. Unicron versus Galactus. Who wins? Galactus. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think Galactus would win pretty easily. Galactus is more than just a planet consumer. I mean, he has like cosmic powers. Unicron does not. Unicron is a humongous planet-sized robot that eats other planets. Galactus eats planets and has cosmic powers. Coffee's gone. Move to the tea. Necromorphs. Why does that sound familiar? Unicron got killed by a disco ball. That's very true. That's true. Plus, if a bunch of car-sized robots can pierce his body, Unicron would. Galactus would decimate him. War of the World tripods, they would not win. They would not win. There's not enough tripods. These things would climb those tripods and tear it apart. And the little frail aliens on the inside would get demolished. Yeah, the lasers would hit them once in a while, but have you seen the movie? These things are like insane. They swarm. Remember, in the future, okay, in this movie, in the future, by the time they start asking the past for help, there's only 500,000 people remaining. These things swim in water at an accelerated speed. They can climb up buildings, and I'm talking about like skyscraper buildings. They would climb up those tripods, they would tear that shit apart, and they would eat the aliens on the inside. Dead Space? Oh, I haven't played Dead Space in years. I don't even remember those aliens. The aliens from Skyline? I guess maybe if their Skyline, if that shit has any effect on, I don't know if they would on these aliens. But I mean, you guys got to remember, like, you're now starting to take aliens that are, I mean, if they're flying ships, of course they're going to win. But if you take any alien and put them up against these aliens, alien on alien, these aliens are going to kill probably most cinematic species. But yeah, if you come down with flying saucers and spaceships shooting lasers from the air, you're probably going to win. That's a whole different story. Oh, the aliens from District 9, I mean, that's... What? The aliens from District 9 get their asses handed to them by humans. Why would they have a chance against these aliens? The fuck? Fucking Cosner. Are you serious? I mean, come on. Oops. Hit the button again by accident. Oh, I can still do the close cam, don't worry. I haven't gotten rid of that one. I'm just warming this one up, that's all. Oh yeah, no, Raven 1 versus all of them would win. There's no doubt about that. I just want us to remember the great movie, that is all.
Good night, Dad.
Night, buddy. Yeah, and I like to remember it without stupid ass comments like yours. With a dumbass comment like that, now when I think about that movie, I'm gonna remember what you said in chat. And it's gonna give me not so much of a fond memory of the movie. Terminators have absolutely no chance against these aliens. Yeah.
Is Cell an alien?
Yes. Triptychon versus Mechagodzilla. That's actually a good match. Darkseid by himself against these guys? Are you kidding me? What do you think? Because he's a comic book superhero, he has a chance? He wouldn't last 5 seconds against these things. What cinematic creature do you think would stand the best chance? Let me think.
Dad, I want to tell chat.
Go ahead, quick.
Guys, make sure you subscribe or else alien tripods and aliens will come. Okay? Subscribe now. Okay?
They're all subscribed already. Thank you, buddy.
Good. Or else aliens will come.
Cinematic creatures that can kill these things. I honestly can't think of one. The way they built these monsters in this movie, I really can't see any aliens killing them. Again, if you have aliens like the ID4 aliens and they're shooting from their alien spaceships, sure, they're going to win. Outside of that, creature to creature, I can't think of one. Hi. Going to bed?
Night.
Night. What are you eating? What are you eating?
A raven.
A raven? What are you having, a dog treat? What are you eating? Oh.
Oh.
Is it alien in nature? What do you mean? It's not from the Earth, if that's what you're asking. Superman obviously would kill them. You know, but I don't think of like Superman's an alien, but I don't think of him as an alien. He's, you know, but yeah, he's an alien. But yeah, he would win, of course. But there's not too many things that can beat Superman at all, so that's not, you know. Here you go. Venom, nope. Steppenwolf, nope. Oh, what the hell, camera? Okay, here we go again. It's gonna be one of those nights. It has a battery that's plugged into an outlet. It's not like the battery needs to be charged. King Ghidorah, until he lands. Once he lands, you're gonna have like thousands of things swarming all over him. Doomsday? Yeah, I guess technically. Because, you know, every time he takes damage. You guys are reaching for the stars now, though, because now you're going to like overpowered superheroes to beat these things. Well, my beard couldn't beat them, but my beard would hide me from them. Goku. No. No, Goku would get killed. I mean, Goku one-on-one against a lot of fighters has gotten his ass kicked before. So I can't see him with like thousands of this thing converging upon him. And considering how telegraphed his Kamehameha is, they would just he would definitely get a lot of them, but the others would just swarm and flank him. Like, and not only that, Goku is not like his body's. You can break his body apart. He's not the kind of alien like Superman. Like Superman is the man of steel. Goku's not made of steel. Goku's body's been pulverized. I mean, Goku's been killed before. So it don't matter what Goku. It could be any Goku. He's not gonna survive them. There's always that Goku can beat them guy. It's true. All he has to do is blow the planet and teleport away. So you'd want him to blow up Earth? Do you really think that's something Goku would do? Well, let me ask you this. Would Goku fight to the death before blowing up the planet? Dominic Toretto with the power of family. Yeah, they don't have a chance either. Huh? Oh. Could Japanese taxi ghosts beat them? No, but she wouldn't die because she's dead already. One Punch Man? One Punch Man could probably take out a couple. But while he's punching one or two, there's going to be like 500, 600 on his back. Arachnids from Starship Troopers? They have the numbers. They're about the same size, maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I think the Arachnids would probably have the best chance. Although the white spikes are faster. Goku just needs to teleport to Namek and get the Dragon Balls. Okay. I like the fact that you guys are going ultimate fantasy to try and kill these things. I just got here. What are we trying to defeat? They're all trying to defeat the white spikes from the war, the Tomorrow War. Nope. Night. Love you too.
Good night, puppy.
Come here, you. Good night. Now come say hi. Oh, come say hi. Come here. Come here. Oh, good night, girl. Good night, girl. Yes. Big girl.
Looking at all those toys.
I know, she's looking at it. She's like, can I eat those? Good night. Love you too. Homelander. Homelander's like Superman, so of course. Couldn't Zeno just blink them out of existence? Who the hell's Zeno? You guys are desperate. Look at it. Majin Buu could absolutely kill them. Yeah, but you guys have gone to cartoons to try and beat these things. All right, let's move on. I mean, you guys have absolutely tried to exceed the scale of power to beat these things. I love the desperation. Unfortunately, these things are closer to being real than Goku and Majin Buu and Superman. So, oh my fucking word. All right, this is getting a little out of hand now. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my camera today. Yeah, it is one of those streams, this fucking thing. Shaggy would destroy them. All right. Just let me know when you guys are done. You can tell when I get people worked up about how strong something is. And then what happens is they'll start, okay, well, what about this? And then I give them reasons why that couldn't win. So rather than think of something that could come close, and they start going to Superman and Goku. What other reviews are you going to... Oh, yeah, so I was going to talk about some other movies I recently watched. Let me pull these up real quick. All right. Here's a couple of cool movies I'll give quick, like, rapid reviews for. You guys might have seen or not seen, but if you haven't seen them, I recommend them. They're all good. So the first one is Alien Code. It's an indie movie. It's basically about this guy. He's a what they call those? Cryptographer. He's a cryptographer / hacker. He's kind of down on his luck after being caught hacking and doing shit like that. But the government returns to him to try and crack the code of a satellite they received from themselves from the future. And then in there is a message that they need to decrypt. So they hire him to do it. And he manages to do it. And then all this crazy weird shit starts to happen. He gets a visit from the Men in Black, and it kind of goes. It's a pretty crazy movie. It's really good. I don't want to give anything away. There's a little time travel involved, so if you like that kind of shit. But it stars. I don't know if you guys. Let me see if I can. I don't know if you guys have ever seen. I know probably some of you have. But have you ever seen Private Parts? So Mary McCormick's in it. She was in Private Parts. She played Howard Stern's wife in the movie. She's in it. Actor named Kyle Gallner. And he's one of those actors, you may not know his name, but you'll know his face. Richard Schiff is in it. He's another recognizable face. For those who don't know who he is, he was in Man of Steel. He was the one that was like, oh my God, they're terraforming. The scientist that was trying to help get the Kryptonian alien ship to crash into the black hole that they were, well, the singularity from the terraforming that they were doing in Metropolis. Very, very good movie. Definitely a little spooky, but it's got aliens and time travel in it. Now, it's not like heavily special effects. It's, like I said, it's an indie film. So everything is basically story driven, but it's a very good story. Definitely weird, but in a good way. It's on Amazon Prime. It is free. If you have Amazon Prime, you're going to want to check it out. Alien Code, very, very good movie. Next one is Goodbye World. Now, this movie is good, but man, there is this one character in the movie that I do not like her, man. She is a stupid bitch. That's how I'm going to put it. She's a stupid bitch. But for those of you who want to know who's in it, Ben McKenzie. So I'm sure some of you know, he played Commissioner Gordon on Gotham, the TV series. Adrian Grenier, who's for those of you guys who watched, I don't know if you did, but he was the main role in Entourage. And then some of the other actors, I've never really seen them before. But I'll just name off some names in case you guys know. Actually, Mark Webber. I've seen Mark Webber in different, I don't remember what movies, but I've seen him before. So this movie is basically about collapse. There's like, I don't want to say attacks. It's kind of like it's kind of spooky because it's kind of like what's going on now. So you remember all those hack attacks that we've experienced in the last like 6 weeks? So that's basically what this movie's about. And then these attacks start kind of breaking down society in the country. So Adrian Grenier's character, his name's James. He has like this cabin in the woods type thing with his wife. It's actually her cabin. And Ben McKenzie plays the ex-husband, now friend of his wife. So anyway, all the characters in this movie, they're like a circle of friends who all were supposed to meet up there to get together. But as they're getting together to meet up there is when society's breaking down. And it's pretty solid movie. Like I don't even want to call it necessarily a survival movie because it's not like it goes through a period of time. This all happens over the course of like the first few days of what's going on around the country. And it's more drama driven among the people. So there are some fucked up things that happen. And the girl who plays Adrian Grenier's wife in the movie, her name's Lily. The actress's name is Carrie Boucher, who she looks familiar, but I don't know where I've seen her else. She's just, oh my God. Trust me, watch this movie just to hate her. She's like, I got to give the actress credit. And it's not that she's bad. She's a bad ditz. You know, like, oh my fucking word. What is going on with this thing? All right, hold on, guys. I'm going to have to kind of like just start unplugging shit and replugging it. Give me a second. I think I might have figured out the problem. So I'm noticing that it gets really cold over here when the AC's on. And I haven't had the AC on for a while because it's actually not hot today. It's like 70 degrees here. But the camera's warm. And I'm starting to wonder if this is happening because there's a vent right here where the cool air drops, and it gets cold in this corner. Like I literally have sweatpants on because we had it on earlier and I was cold. So I'm wondering if it's just overheating and keeps turning off. So I don't know. I'm going to have to try and just deal with it. So I turned on the AC just now in hopes that it'll cool things off. Anyway, what was I talking about? Goodbye World. So again, it's more like you don't see crazy shit happening. Like, yeah, society's breaking down, but that's not like what they focus on. They don't focus on the apocalyptic stuff. They kind of focus on the people living in this cabin, all the problems they've had with each other, what's being revealed, you know, certain things that get revealed among these characters throughout the story. Some of it does have to do with the greater, what's going on with this collapse. Some of it has to do with how they intertwine. It's just a pretty good story. It's a pretty solid story. So if you get a chance, check that one out. That's called Goodbye World. The Circle. So this one's not an indie movie like the other two. This one came out in 2017 or 2016, or no, 2015, I think, actually. 2017, I'm mistaken. So The Circle, this was with Tom Hanks and Emma Watson. This is basically like a movie that tells you where Google's headed. That's basically what it is. So The Circle is basically a company in the movie that's much like Google. They have social media. They have, services. They provide services that you can connect through the internet, like on your phone, on your computer, different apps, things like that. And it kind of gives you a pretty spooky glimpse into what the future might hold. And it's a solid movie. There is one creepy part, and it's not a spoiler. It's just creepy. Like Emma Watson, basically, she plays a young lady who is just kind of working her regular 9 to 5, and she gets an opportunity to work at the Circle because of a friend of hers. So she gets there, and as she's working there, she starts to kind of see that there's a certain culture being brewed there that they're trying to spread worldwide, and it's a culture of accountability, basically making everyone's life transparent. And it really starts to go sideways, but the man who runs the company is twisting it in such a way that he's trying to show only the positives of people living a transparent life. So then he starts talking about putting senators' camera, like he comes up with this little camera, and basically this camera can be put anywhere, on a tree, on a lamp, anywhere. And then he starts showing, like, giving examples of where they're putting, like where he's put this little camera as he travels through the world for business or whatever. And you really get to see just how creepy it starts to become. And then it's not creepy like, oh my God, you don't want to sleep at night. It's creepy because of the idea of where technology is going and how technology can intrude on your personal life. And in that sense, it's creepy. And it's even creepier because if you watch this now and you see what's going on right now with cancel culture, yeah, this is going to freak you out in that aspect. So with that, I say good movie to watch if you want an idea of where things might go. Keep moving down the line here. Take Shelter. Michael Shannon, Jessica Chastain. Very good movie. Very, very good movie. This one is about Michael Shannon's the main character, and he plays. Hold on, let me pull up because I want to get the names. So, okay, so Michael Shannon plays a character called Curtis, and basically, what's happening is that he has some sort of premonition or a dream about a storm that's coming, a bad storm. So he feels compelled. He starts to have like visions of it. And the problem is that nobody else is necessarily seeing his vision. Only he is. Now, he starts off seeing them in the dream, but then some of them start to play out in reality. And then that's when people start to question. Now, what the interesting thing is in the movie, he starts having these visions around the same time, around the same age that his mother was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So she was diagnosed with schizophrenia in her early 30s. He starts having these premonitions or schizophrenic episodes in his early 30s. And she's like in home care, like she's got to stay at like, you know, like a nursing home type thing. So because of this, he starts getting like the OBS about setting up like a little shelter. He literally builds a bunker, and people start noticing his behavior because it's a very small town, and they start questioning his sanity. And Michael Shannon kills in this movie, absolutely kills in this movie. And basically it's a question of, is it all in your mind, or is it real what you're seeing? And I highly recommend this one. This one is fucking good. And the ending, whew, good ending. Oh man. It is a little freaky too. But man, this one is good. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Take Shelter, all right? Came out in 2011. So it's like a 10-year-old movie. But man, it's one of Michael Shannon's best. Really, really good movie. So, let me see. Let's go down the line here. All right. So some of these next ones you guys have definitely seen. But I will say Z for Zachariah. So this is another silent movie, another one that's about 10 years old. And 2015, actually, so a little bit. This one stars Margot Robbie, Chris Pine, and Chiwetel. I have a hard time saying this guy's name. Chiwetel Ejiofor. You guys know what I'm talking about? He was in Doctor Strange. I think he played, what was that character's name? Modo? Is it Modo? Let me see. I forget. Carl Mordo. Yeah, he played Mordo. So just those three. And this is a post-apocalyptic movie. Nuclear fallout. So basically, Margot Robbie her family survived in a valley that had surrounded by mountains, and the wind currents actually consistently push out the nuclear like spread. So her little valley, because of the way it's structured and because of the way the wind blows, her area, her not just the house, but that whole valley is like immune in a sense to the nuclear fallout. So she can survive there, and she can drink the water from the well, stuff like that. So she's out, basically she's alone. Like over time, they don't show this in the movie, but the story begins with her being alone on a farm. That's her farm, her family's farm. Her family had gone out to look for other survivors, and because they were unaware that they were protected where they are, they died. They never came back. Now, let me pull up his character again real quick. So, what's his real name? I can never say this guy's name. It's kind of difficult for me to say it. But Chiwetel, his character is named Loomis. And basically, he worked for the government. He was in a local bunker, and he came out searching for like any survivors or anything. But the thing of it is that he's been able to survive because he has a radiation suit, like a hazmat suit. So he kind of unwittingly makes his way into the valley. So as he's traveling, he has a Geiger counter. So he reaches an area that he notices there's no radiation readings. So he basically stops to rest. He finds a little nook where he can, like, there's like a little waterfall coming. So he takes off his radiation, gets in the water. Now this is within that valley there she lives. So she stumbles upon him, but then she warns him, you got to get out of the water. It's contaminated because the water, even though it's in the valley, the water flows from outside the valley. So he gets out, and then he finds out he's radiation poisoned. He has shots, I think it's mercury they use or something like that, to heal himself, but he's so heavily poisoned that he can't even give himself the shot. She has to help him. So she brings him back to the farm. She starts nursing him back to health. And then they basically become like a team, right? They become a team. She's very religious. He finds a way to get electricity going, but he needs like wood but not raw wood. It has to be wood that's already been like, fashioned, for lack of a better term. So during that time, there's certain, like, food starts going missing. Stuff starts getting stolen. And then later on, they find Chris Pine's character, his name's Caleb, who was a miner in the valley. And he doesn't have very much radiation poisoning. Like, they're able to heal him pretty quickly because he was underground. And then when he came up within the valley. But the thing of it is that he traveled around. So he was exposed a little bit to the radiation. They all three become a team, but there is some fallout there. And I don't want to say any more. You got to see the movie because the ending is insane. It's one of those ambiguous endings that you're like, you scratch your head, you're like, what the fuck? So, and plus you got three great actors. You got Margot Robbie, Chris Pine, and Mordo. I'm just going to call him Mordo because I can't say this guy's fucking name. I really can't. So, very, very good movie. And then finally, the last two that I've seen lately, The Imitation Game and Fury, both pretty mainstream movies. I'm sure most of you've seen them. Both World War II movies, although one is based on a true story, one is very loosely based. Fury, obviously starring Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, John Barenthal is in it. Very good action-based movie, very violent. Just a fun action, war movie, fucked up scenes. So Fury is very good. And The Imitation Game, very, very good story. True story about a man who figured out how to decrypt the German communications, which was a very, very elaborate, very well mathematical communication system that nobody could crack. They essentially had to develop a machine just to crack it. And what's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch plays the character who breaks that code. So that is a good movie. It also stars Keira Knightley's in it. Mark Strong is in it. And so is Charles Dance. Very, very good movie. So yeah, those are a couple of movie titles that I've seen that are very, very good, that I would highly recommend, the indie ones and the mainstream ones if you haven't seen them. And yeah, did you guys have any of you seen any of the movies I just named? Fury? Yeah, I figured everybody's seen Fury. Yeah, Imitation Game is really good. And Imitation Game, like I said, it's World War II, but don't think of it as a war game, like a war movie. It's not a war movie. Like it's about World War II, but it doesn't take place like on the battlefield. It takes place it's basically British intelligence. Yeah, well, if you haven't, go watch them, man. They're good. All those movies are good. All good. Even the indie ones. Usually indie movies are pretty good. I didn't see any of the movies you said in here. Well, then you better get your ass to work. These are some good goddamn movies. The Day After. You talk about the one from the 70s, about the day after like nuclear war. The Nice Guys. Is that the one with am I thinking of the right one? With Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, and then like Dwayne Johnson and Samuel L. Jackson have like a cameo where they're like the action heroes and they jump and then fall to their deaths. It's kind of funny. Needs to be more Alien movies. Alien Code sounds good. Stuff like Dark Skies and The Fourth Kind. Fourth Kind's pretty good. Dark Skies, I think I've seen that one. You want a good alien movie? Watch the original Body Snatchers. Woo, that'll freak you out. Yeah, I've seen Hancock. Oh, thank you, WTF. Yeah, I've seen Hancock. No, I didn't. My name's confused. No, so is Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. I highly recommend it. Oh, that's the other guys. Okay, I got it confused. Worst alien movie I've ever seen? Huh. I'm pretty forgiving when it comes to alien movies, to be honest, because I like them. I can't think of one right now. Because I've only got good ones in my mind. I guess some of the later Alien movies, now that I think about it, like Alien 3 and all that shit. Yeah, Godzilla anime trilogy, I guess, is considered an Alien movie to some extent. I think Predator 2 is a lot better than people give it credit for. Predator 2 is extremely underrated. He's on safari. The lions, the tigers, the bears. Oh my. The original and the one from the 70s with Donald Sutherland. Whoa. That one is creepy. Even the newer one, and it's not that new, came out like in the 80s, I think, or the late 80s. But was it the newer one? Yeah, so like the newer one, the ending is also pretty brutal. It's not as scary as Donald Sutherland ending, but it's pretty demoralizing the way they end it. I don't want to give it away if you've never seen it. The ending is just like, you're like, oh, fuck. You're like, oh, no. Does A Quiet Place feel like an alien movie to you? I mean, it is, I guess, to an extent. You know, they're aliens, right? So, yeah. And it's good, so. But, you know, A Quiet Place, I don't think I feel as strongly about that movie as a lot of people do. Like, I definitely think it's a great movie. But it wasn't good enough for me to have, like, I don't know. Like, for some reason, I don't bring it up a lot. And I don't really remember a whole lot about it. I remember enjoying it. I remember it being good. I'm trying to get comfortable over here, but I'm trying to figure out if one of the reasons my camera's shutting off is because I'm not centered with it. Like, even though I look like I'm in the middle, my camera's actually tearing off to the right, but it's a wide lens, so it makes me look like I'm in the center. And I'm wondering if that's one of the reasons it's shutting off. I'm trying to figure out. Right now it's behaving, but I don't want to I'm over here about to get comfortable, and I don't want to have to get up again to fix this shit. So, have you seen Netflix original The Circle? Netflix original Circle. No. I don't watch a whole lot on Netflix. These movies are probably better than the MonsterVerse. Well, if you're talking about story, then yeah, definitely. Wouldn't Godzilla absorb the radiation if he snapped? What are you talking about? What radiation? Yeah, Science is good too. I finally saw it. It's an alien movie, but it's pretty good, but it's solely focused on humans for the most part. Okay, I'll have to check it out. If Godzilla wore the Infinity Gauntlet, yeah, he'd probably absorb the radiation. Yeah, Netflix, and it's too expensive too. It's like $20 a month now. It's ridiculous. Wait, wouldn't? Oh, yeah, I already read that. Avatar is technically an alien movie, right? Except the twist is that humans are the aliens. Yeah, technically. Yeah. Yeah, I guess Avatar would be an alien movie to an extent. I mean, it is aliens, so. I don't know. I just like it's good. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I don't think I feel that it's as good as people make it out to be. Like, it's definitely a good movie. And it's definitely a movie I'd recommend. I just, dare I say, I just don't think it's great. Like, I don't know. I like it. It's good. I have nothing bad to say about it. But I don't know. I just don't feel that strongly about it. I don't know what it is. I can't really put my thumb on it. Like, I have nothing bad to say about it. All I'm saying is I just don't feel as strongly about it as people do. Like, when I talk about movies and great movies and alien movies, it's just not one that comes up for me. And it's not that I recall anything bad about it. It just doesn't. Let's put it this way. It's not as memorable for me. Like, for me, it's an in-the-moment movie. Like, in that moment, it was a great experience. It just wasn't, for me, it wasn't a lasting experience. Like, once the credits roll, a couple of days later, that was it. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not a memorable movie for me. Yeah, but if they came from a meteor, it's still alien. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't even really consider it an alien movie, even though it's about aliens. Except, don't take the opposite with Godzilla. Giant humans attacking a Godzilla city. What? Rob, do you have any negatives about these movies? Some of them are a little bit too ambiguous. Like, ambiguity is good, but if you do too much of it, it can be a bad thing. Because you got to answer some questions, you know? Like, Alien Code is fairly ambiguous. Like, it's a good movie, but there are some questions I would have liked answered, and that's not the kind of movie you're going to get a sequel to. And it's not going to have everlasting lore. It's an indie film. So that's one example. If there's anything I have negative to say about a movie like Z for Zachariah, is that you don't really know what the fuck happened. You knew there was a nuclear fallout. You just don't know if it's worldwide, if it's local. You don't know when it happened, how it happened, why it happened. So you don't know anything about the world before the dystopian world they live in now. And it's more of a drama, character-driven movie, which is not a bad thing. What I would say negatively about Goodbye Tomorrow is while the story is really good and the characters are very diverse in terms of their purpose and their stories and how they intertwine with each other, it feels like an apocalyptic 90210. And it's mainly because of that one female character. She is just, but I hate her so much is one of the reasons why I love the movie, because I love how they made me hate her. You know, if you can drive that feeling in me, then I got to give you props. And I got to give props to the actress. Because I guarantee you see that movie, you will hate that fucking bitch. And what's crazy is it's not the kind of hate because she's evil. She's not evil. She's actually a decent person. But she's a fucking dumb idiot. And she makes stupid ass decisions. She's too nonchalant. You know what I mean? Like, her husband is trying to, like, take care of people. He's trying to survive. Like, he knew this was going to happen. He was kind of like a prepper. And she just nonchalantly is like, yo, what are you worried about? Everything's going to be fine. And he's like, no, are you paying the fuck attention? Like, she's just, you just want to fucking strangle her. And then she does some shit later in the movie where I was like, man, I would have shot this bitch. Yeah, just, she's one of the best things about that movie because of the fact that she just makes you hate her. But again, there's another character, this chick in the movie, that is really, she's also it's a very character-based movie, even though it's about like the beginnings of what could potentially be an apocalypse. And you have to watch it. You know, you have to watch it and decide how it would make you feel. Rob, any thoughts on Rob Perlman being the voice of Optimus Prime in the upcoming Transformers movie? Sounds pretty cool to me. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good replacement for Peter Cullen. The Quiet Place doesn't really feel like an alien movie. No, and I'm not saying it needs to. And I agree with you, it doesn't. It's not the fact that it doesn't feel like an alien movie that makes it unmemorable for me. I couldn't explain to you why. You know, because like I said, I have nothing bad to say about the movie. I just don't think it's as extravagantly great as people say. Again, my opinion. And even with that, there's nothing about the movie I don't like. It's just not a highly ranked movie for me. You know, like if it was in my rankings of the greatest 10 top movies, it would probably be number 10. And that's not a bad ranking because I'm ranking it amongst great movies. It's just not as memorable for me as it is for like other movies in its genre that have a little bit more of an impact, a little bit more of a lasting feeling. Again, that's just me. That doesn't mean it's not capable of doing that. You know, some movies jive with people and some movies don't. And it just doesn't jive with me like it jives for other people. No, he's voicing Optimus Primal, not Optimus Prime. Oh, I guess I read that wrong. Perlman is voicing Optimus Primal. Peter Cullen is still voicing. Okay. Yeah, because when I saw the announcement, it said Optimus Primal. Oh, I guess I didn't read. Like, I wasn't. Like, once I saw Optimus Prime, I stopped paying. Like, once I saw Optimus, I stopped paying attention. I didn't read the Primal. So, okay, well, that's good. Peter Cullen's still there. Well, he's not replacing Peter. Okay. I guess everybody's saying it at the same time now. I kind of gave up for Transformers films due to the horrible franchise we got a few years ago. Well, I wouldn't say the whole franchise is horrible. It's got horrible movies in it, but I would say the first and the third movie are the best ones in the series. They're both very good. 2 was horrible. The last one they had was terrible. Bumblebee was really good. Luckily, this upcoming one is a continuation of Bumblebee and not Bayformers. You have any expectations for the new Transformers movie? Yeah, I expect it to be good. Wait, Rob, are you a bigger fan of Voltron or Godzilla? Well, I would say I'm still a bigger fan of Godzilla, but Voltron is in a separate, special category away from Godzilla. Like, for me, Voltron is in its own category. It has more meaning to me than just a cartoon. Rob, where you put Captain America, Winter Soldier in your top 10? Well, if we're talking just comic book movies, it'd probably be number 1. If we're talking about overall movies, I don't know if it'd be in the top 10. There are a lot of movies out there. You know, you're talking about movies, I mean, you know, despite all my excitement for like action genre and all that kind of stuff and comic book movies, I do love story-driven movies and I do love good drama movies. I just don't go see those movies in the movies. when I think about going to the movies, I'm thinking about a different kind of experience. You know, there are a lot of good storytelling movies that are most of the movies dialogue. There's like no action. That doesn't make them bad. I just don't think they're theater worthy. If I'm going to spend a lot of money, I want to see lights and spectacle and gravitas and eye candy. But if I want to see a good story, I can watch that at home easily. I don't need the movies for that. So if I'm going to rank like my top 10 movies, chances are none of them are going to have sci-fi or action or any of that stuff in it. You know, I mean, off the top of my head, a couple movies I can think about that are in my top 10, Shawshank Redemption, and in no particular order. Shawshank Redemption is fantastic. The Color Purple, The Green Mile. Let's see, I can think of a couple more. Castaway is a movie I love. Forrest Gump. What else? Trying to think. Well, I guess one of them would be sci-fi. Terminator 2 I'd put in there in my top 10, definitely. Glory. Glory is really good. I mean, those are just a few off the top of my head. There's definitely more. But, yeah. Tom Hanks everything. I just named 2 Tom Hanks movies. I named like 7 movies and only 2 of them were Tom Hanks. Like, what do you want me to tell you? I like Forrest Gump and I like Castaway. Very good movies. No, I don't watch a whole lot of things on Netflix, dude. Like I don't hang out on Netflix like a lot of people. Netflix is like the last streaming service I will pick to watch anything. Most of the shit I watch is on Disney Plus. Excuse me, not Disney Plus, HBO Max. And not like Netflix. I've been in and out of Netflix over the last 2 years. Like I'll cancel for a while and I'll only come back for a certain amount of time to catch up with a couple of series that I like Stranger Things, The Ozark, which is going to have its last season this year. So that's another reason for me not to renew my Netflix. So like I think once I don't know when The Ozark is coming out. I know Stranger Things is coming out soon. But pretty much once the Ozark is done, I'll probably be re-signing up for Netflix like once a year, and that's when Stranger Things comes out. And I'm pretty sure that series is only going to have 1 or 2 more seasons. So once Stranger Things is done, I'm probably not going to go back to Netflix. I just named a bunch of movies that were some of my favorite drama movies. I forgot to mention E.T., which I guess is sci-fi, but it's a very good movie. Literally just use a relative's account. Well, I can't do that because most of my relatives don't have Netflix anymore. In fact, when I sign up for it, they ask me for access. So, but most of my family don't have Netflix anymore because that's what I used to do. I used to run through my sister's account, but she doesn't have it anymore. It's too expensive and she doesn't watch it. I'm surprised people have still signed up for it. It's the most expensive streaming service and they have the most garbage on their streaming service. Don't worry, we're going to do one episode of Nukes before we're done. Even if we run a little late, so don't worry about it. Why didn't I like Parasite? I should say I had no interest in watching it when I read the premise. No, I didn't see it. I had no interest in watching it. The premise didn't appeal to me. The whole story of, you know, getting back at the rich and, you know, the whole idea of people down on their luck, taking advantage of the wealthy, it doesn't appeal to me. I'm going to be very honest with you. I plan on being wealthy in 10 years. I don't want people coming after me because I have money. I just don't like that narrative anymore. I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? I've been poor. Dude, I've been poor, and most poor people don't think like that. You know, unless you just have a jealous heart. Most poor people don't think like that. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you got to remember at the time that movie won an Oscar, that was like that was the talk of the town, that movie. And everything behind it was because of what it was about. And it's like, I'm kind of tired of that whole story, that whole spiel. You know, eat the rich, tax the rich, da this, da that. You know, it's easy for middle class and poor people to say that until you're rich. Once you're rich and you see people coming after your money, everything changes. Everything changes. You know, if I made $1 million and the government took 40% of that, I'm not happy. Can you imagine getting $1 million and after taxes you get a little under $600,000 left? That's fucking insane. I don't care how much you may need or not need. You earn that money. You know? Did you not hear what I just said? I just said, don't worry, we're going to watch Nukes. We're going to watch one episode, even if we go a little over. Pay attention. Pay attention. Can you ask me a spoiler question about Loki? You'd have to ask chat if you can ask that question, because I don't know if everyone in chat's seen it. I don't care if you ask. But why don't you find out if chat... I'm sure they have by now, but just out of respect. Because it's only Friday. I don't have just one favorite movie of all time. That's impossible. Rob, I humbly request a generous donation from you to fight this terrible thing that's spreading across the country. Cat juggling? Are you serious? It's not that it's hard to trust people. It's just that if I work my ass off to become a millionaire, why should I be penalized by people who think I have enough? Yeah, I have a right to have what I have, and there's no right. Nobody else has a right to take it from me. Just because I have it and you don't, doesn't make me a bad person and doesn't give you the right to take it. And like I said, it's only the middle class, some people in the middle class and poor people who say that. But I guarantee you, if those same people who bitch about the rich became rich themselves, you think they're going to want to pay 40% tax, or they're going to want to be robbed from poor people? No. If I'm going to share my wealth, I'm going to do it on my terms and the way I want to do it, not the way the government or anyone else says I should. So when I see movies that are kind of in that realm, I don't like them. Asking the question without giving away the spoilers. Did you like the gator? I mean, I didn't dislike it. I know what you're talking about. I just don't. Like, it's cool. Imagine somebody trying to ask you thoughts on president. Imagine somebody trying to ask me on my thoughts about the president. I've had people ask me that all the time. No, he's not talking about Crawl. It's actually not his pet. I mean, it kind of is, but let's just say there were 4 Lokis on that screen, not 3. There are people that can talk, and there are people that do the action. Yeah. I'm just saying, I just think it's kind of funny because, you know, like I said, I've been poor before. And I would say right now, I'm slightly above middle class. And I plan to be in the 1% in 10 years. And my mentality has not changed. When I was poor, I wasn't jealous of rich people and wanted to take their money. I was inspired by rich people and wanted to make money like them. So, and I honestly say, I am not obligated. If I make trillions of dollars every year, I'm not obligated to give anyone shit. I earned that. Now, that's not to say I wouldn't, but I'm this kind of person, the more you try to I'm the kind of person that if you try to make me feel obligated to do something, I'm least likely to do it. If you tell me to do something, I'm definitely not going to do it. I'm very, very, like, I just don't work that way. You know, I'm very, what they call that? What's that word I'm looking for? Rebellious. The more people try to tell me to do something, the least. This is why I've always tried to work independently. This is why I've always tried to work on my own. Like, you know, that's why I did a lot of contract work. I don't like having a boss. I don't. Now, it's not to say that I'm just going to go into work with an attitude. If I have a normal person for a boss who gives me assignments, I'm going to do them. Don't get me wrong. But if I have one of those bosses that power trip, you know, like, I need you, like, I've told bosses off plenty of times. I've had those bosses that like to yell and scream at you and try to show you up in front of people. I've never tolerated that. Even in my early age, I used to tell and I did it respectfully. I pull them aside and be like, don't ever do that again. I said, you want to reprimand me for something? That's fine. Take me into the office, but don't ever do that in front of people again. So I don't appreciate it. And I don't, you know, again, I'm not saying I'm above being reprimanded or anything like that. And if I do something wrong, definitely I'll hold myself accountable. But overall, I don't like working for people. I like working by myself, independently, you know? So. Yeah, exactly. I do it from the heart, not because people tell me to or want me to, or, you know. I was reading an article that said that America could be on the verge of a civil war due to Trump supporters saying that if Trump isn't reinstated by the end of August, they will do something. Yeah, you're reading bullshit. No one's going to do anything. Yeah. Anything you hear about Trump supporters is bullshit. They've been trying to pull that shit for the last... Look, here's what's really happening. This administration right now is fucking up. And they're trying to hang on to Trump to use as a scapegoat. Trump has not been in office since January. Nobody has heard from the motherfucker unless you really follow him, because he's not on social media. You have to literally follow Trump and his website to know what he's saying. Nobody's been paying attention to Trump. Trump has not been saying shit. This is all on this administration. So, just like Trump got the blame for everything, anything that goes wrong under Biden's watch is Biden's fault. Period. End of story. Nobody's going to do anything at the end of August. Nothing's going to happen. Now, is there a civil war going on in the country? By proxy, and I would say a cold civil war. Yeah, I mean, the country is obviously split. You have a portion of the country that is very favorable towards socialism and communism. And you have another portion of the country that wants the country to remain what it's always been. And then you have those in the middle who don't know what the fuck to do. You have those in the middle who are caught in the crossfire. On one hand, they have a group of people forcing them to support Black Lives Matters and forcing them to learn critical race theory and forcing them to learn about, gay and transgender bullshit. And then you have another side of the country that's a little bit too heavy-handed with Americana. I'm more in the middle towards the right. Like, I believe in traditional American values, but I don't hang from the nuts of Donald Trump like some people do. Like, I thought he was a good president. I voted for him this past election. And I think that while he's a little polarizing, for the most part, I supported his legislation. I've said this time and time again, and you guys, I'll sound like a broken record. I don't vote for how I feel about a person. That's not how you do it. I vote based on legislation. If you do the right legislation that is going to take care of people and things of that nature, you're going to get my support. It doesn't matter what party affiliation you're with. The problem with this country is that 90% of the people vote with their heart, not with their brain. And that's why this country is a mess. Politicians are not your friends. They're not coming to your dinner. Half the shit they say about how they feel is not true. And I don't give a shit if they lie. They all lie. I don't give a fuck if they lie. As long as they legislate. If you legislate correctly, I don't give a shit what you do. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say about other countries. I don't give a shit. As long as you're legislating to take care of the American people and to keep us safe from foreign adversaries, you got my vote. But if you're going to sit there and, my people, and, if you're going to try and cater to my feelings, don't bother. It's not going to work. Yeah, I mean, I haven't paid attention to what Trump's doing. He's not president anymore. So, that's it. He's not president. So when he's president again, if he runs again, I'll vote for him because he's better than what we got now by far. But right now he's not president. So I don't follow his newsletter. He had a rally last weekend. I didn't even watch it. He was interviewed the other day on the news. I didn't watch it. Dude, this person cried because Biden didn't respond to her painting the house with her face on it. Yeah, see, that's that dumb shit. I don't give a shit about politicians. The president isn't your best friend, and he does not even know you exist. Yeah. But I also blame mainstream media for being biased for and against politicians and candidates. Well, the mainstream media is just a mess, but I don't watch them anymore, so it doesn't bother me. See, I already know what the mainstream media is going to say, what they're going to do. I don't watch them. I keep up with news, but I don't like, I'll watch the news for local events where I live, and I'll watch for world stories. But once I hear them talking politics and talking about Trump, I shut it off. I don't want to hear that shit because I already know they're going to feed me bullshit. Many people still watch mainstream media. I know. Hey, look, I know it's a problem, but there's nothing we can do about it. People are going to watch what they want to watch, and if they're dumb enough to believe what they're watching, then that's their problem. I mean, believe me, I can tell which people are watching mainstream media, even in this chat. We've had these conversations plenty of times. How many people, how many people I've seen repeat the same shit that people say on the news, and I think to myself, motherfucker has no clue what's going on. So, all right, we're gonna pull up the Nukes video. Oh shit, where were we? Oh wait, never mind, right here. There we are. Okay. Oh, this one's long. This one is long. All right. Rob, you've been teaching us a lot of stuff. Did parents teach you all these things? My parents were very good teachers. My father especially. My father's very smart. My father and my grandfather are both very smart. I mean, my grandfather is, God rest his soul, is brilliant. I mean, he came over here from Puerto Rico, barely knew English, And within a couple of years, he owned 3 businesses. He had 2 candy stores and a liquor store he owned. And then as my father got older, he helped. Then my father owned his own liquor store and worked 2 jobs. He worked his day job as a real estate manager. Then in the evening, he worked in a liquor store that he owned. He did that because he wanted to his speed race his way to buying a house, his first house. And then he went back to college, got his degree. And then from there, he catapulted into the upper echelons of the corporate world within the government. When he retired, he was assistant vice president of a retail management company, well, government owned. And so he was top dog. My father was making 6 figures for many years before he retired. He was, he was far ahead of where I am right now in my life. Like, I mean, I made good, let me see. When I started making serious money was, me and my father started making serious money around the same age. The only difference is my father owned a house a lot younger than I did. My first house I rented because I was too afraid to buy a house. And I'm kind of glad I made that decision because I didn't want to stay in Massachusetts. I wanted to leave. So I never bought a house there. I only rented a house. Then when we came down here, we were going to buy a house, but we had to get out of my parents' house. So we ended up getting the apartment. And honestly, I got so tired of moving. I told my wife, let's just hold off on 2 years before we buy the house because I don't want to move again. Because I moved in August to North Carolina. Then in December, we moved again. And then the idea of moving again sometime this year to a house, I'm done. I need a break from moving. So we have the money for the house. We just don't know how long because now the housing market is looking bad. So it's like, me and my father are pretty much in the same area. The only difference is I graduated from college sooner than he did. Yeah, my whole family is a hardworking family. My wife's a harder working than I am. My wife doesn't play. She does her thing. I mean, my wife is so good at her job. She's the only one in the company that they made a remote position for because they didn't want to hire anybody else. And she got a raise. My wife moved out of Massachusetts with more money and maintaining her job in a position that they specifically designed for her so they didn't have to lose her. That's how badass she is. My wife is so badass. The company loves her so much. There was like a couple of years ago, she quit. And after a week, they begged her to come back. They gave her like a $5 an hour raise. So, I mean, yeah. So. No, that bug is gone now. Yeah, she is. All right, Nukes time.
Let's see if we can work a little magic with all this noise.
Let's not say we did.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Meanwhile, on TikTok, paranormal investigator Bradford from the YouTube channel The Haunted Lair travels to the abandoned Lakeville State Hospital in Massachusetts. The hospital opened in 1910 and served as a sanatorium to treat patients suffering from tuberculosis and other chronic and crippling conditions. Sadly, the patient list included many abandoned and orphaned children, who were often terribly mistreated by the hospital staff. It is rumored that many of these children were buried on the hospital grounds in unmarked graves. Lakeville Hospital was closed in 1993. The large property has been left empty and abandoned ever since. The old hospital is believed to be haunted by the patients who passed away inside its walls. Bradford is joined by his friend Nikki as they explore the creepy hospital. When they find the morgue, Bradford decides to lay down inside one of the morgue's empty body storage lockers.
Why?
As he's laying there, he experiences something absolutely chilling.
Make some kind of banging noise?
I would never lay down in one of those things. Imagine if you can't get out. Oh my God.
Nikki, do you hear that banging noise? I'm not moving, and it's in the same bed as me, dude. Who's here with me?
I don't hear a goddamn thing.
You really can't hear that, Nikki? You're gonna have like 15 minutes of you're trying to listen to right now.
So anybody's in here with me, I'm gonna put this little speaker on
the... Are you walking around right now? Nikki?
I'm right here.
You're not moving?
I'm right here.
I legit just had a shadow at the bottom of my feet.
What?
Bradford begins to hear a strange tapping sound coming from somewhere nearby, somewhere inside the morgue body locker with him.
A shadow
But
by
things
my
get
feet?
even stranger as he
I didn't
sees
see
what
a
appears to
goddamn
be a
thing.
small shadow-like apparition moving upwards and out of
Oh,
sight.
I saw that. Okay,
He
well.
immediately asks his friend Nikki if she's moving around or possibly casting a shadow, but she quickly says that she hasn't moved an inch. And even in the recording, we can hear that there's no sound of anyone moving.
Yeah, it looks like something climbed.
Are you walking around right now? Nikki?
I'm right here.
You're not moving?
I'm right here. My feet haven't moved.
So is the Lakeville State Hospital haunted by the patients who passed away there?
You know, after what we
Let
saw
me know.
yesterday, and I see it, but after what we saw yesterday, this is just like, just so underwhelming. You know what I mean?
What you think? Bradford shared his creepy clips on TikTok, and you can also see his full exploration of the Lakeview Hospital on his YouTube channel, The Haunted Lair.
Well, it's still early, Jack. It's a
German
half
TikTok
hour.
user Arvin.de travels
So
to the
that was
hometown of
lame,
one
yeah.
of the most well-known exorcism cases of all time, that of Annalise Mickles. In 1975,
You know what I'm afraid of, though? I'm afraid a lot of them are going to be lame now because of what we saw yesterday. That was so fucking, oh my lord.
Annalise Mickles' family claimed that she demonstrated strange behavior and dark supernatural abilities. Even Annalise herself claimed that she was possessed by a demon. The church was called in, and Annalise Mickles went through a total of
Yeah, that was
67
freaky.
exorcisms. She passed away under mysterious circumstances in her home at the age of 23. German TikToker Arvin finds a cabin that is said to have belonged to the Mickles family. When he records the inside of the cabin for his TikTok page, he has no idea that he's being watched by something.
I missed that.
Did you see it?
Oh,
When
yeah.
Arvin pans his camera, a face can be seen quickly moving away from a hole in the cabin's ceiling.
Oh, shit.
Arvin says he has no idea what this creepy face could be, and he only noticed it after TikTok
Oh, that
viewers
is creepy.
pointed it out. So,
And it's pretty
is it
clear.
a real face?
You can even see
is
the
it a trick of
eyebrows.
the light? Or is it all just an
Oh,
elaborate
shit.
hoax?
Yeah, that's pretty.
You decide.
That's.
When the lights go out.
Yeesh.
Abiud Hernandez Alvarez claims that his apartment in Mexico City is
That was
extremely
pretty
haunted by a
creepy. You can see
vengeful
the
female
eyebrows and
spirit.
everything.
Now, for over a year, he has been documenting the terrifying encounters that he says take place in his apartment on a daily basis. On Nukes Top 5, I've
Oh,
featured
I
his
remember this
continuing
guy.
strange
Yeah, his
stories
shit is
several
crazy.
times. So, let's take a very quick look back. Even creepier, Abiud has had some chilling physical encounters with the spirit that haunts his
This
apartment.
shit is crazy. This
Including the
one's good,
disturbing
too.
sound of high heels
I remember
walking
seeing
through his
this
home
one in
when
the-
no one
in the
else is
past.
there. And he has even caught the apparition on camera. But oddly enough, up to this point, the specter has only appeared in the reflection of mirrors throughout his house. Once in his bedroom mirror,
That's fucking creepy.
And then again, the ghost was caught on camera in a mirror in his living room.
He cerrado la ventana.
At first, when this began in early 2020, Abiud said that he didn't mind the mild paranormal occurrences around his home. In fact, he said that he simply found them intriguing, but not necessarily scary. However, since then, things have taken a terrifying turn. The haunting in his home has become much more violent and extreme. And at this point, Abiud says that the strange experiences and loud sounds have become so intense that he can't even sleep at night. Abiud recently uploaded an all-new video where he documents a supernatural experience in his home. The late night encounter is absolutely terrifying.
Oh. Just move out. Got a Batman above his TV? I'm like waiting for something to pop up. Oh, the book just moved. Oh, it just fell off. Yeah, book just fell off the shelf. You hear that shit? That's insane. High heels. So if you've seen the ones in the past, that bear is, every time he moves that bear, the ghost moves it back. Bear is creepy. Just get rid of the bear. Oh, why you gotta look in the mirror for? That's when the real creepy shit happens. Oh shit! What the fuck? Oh no, it's time to, I think it's time to move out. Yes, it's time. Damn, you can hear him breathing too. Oh, no way, no. Oh no, oh man. And he saw it too. You can hear him, he's freaking out. Yeah, dude, it's time to go, man. You're not seeing it in mirrors anymore. That motherfucker was right in front of you.
experiences a power outage in his home, which he has mentioned in previous videos often occurs when the supernatural activity becomes very extreme. So he grabs his camera and starts to record. He experiences a few chilling events, but then he once again hears the loud clack of high-heeled shoes on his floor. The footsteps seem to be coming closer and closer. When Abiud turns around, he is shocked to see the horrifying figure of a woman who seems to be creepily smiling back at him. The apparition disappears into thin air, and soon after, the lights in Abiud's apartment come back on, and he cuts the camera. After carefully reviewing and enhancing the footage in this video, I discovered another creepy event that most viewers didn't even notice. Even when the video is brightened and slowed down, the strange occurrence is still a little hard to make out. So, did you see it? There's a teddy bear sitting in a chair in the corner of the room, but when Abiud pans toward a mirror, the teddy bear is not there in the mirror's reflection. Then, as he pans back toward the chair, the bear is still there, though it seems to have shifted into a different position. This is just seconds before the terrifying apparition of a woman is caught on camera. So, just what do you think happened to Abiud Hernandez Alvarez in his Mexico City apartment?
Fuck that!
Is he capturing real paranormal evidence of a terrifying haunting? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. If you see a video that you think would be perfect for the top 5, or if you have a ghost hunting channel and you caught something great, contact me at nukes.5@gmail.com.
That's also a good one.
On CCTV. This first video was recorded by a security camera on a very rainy night in Iguatu, Brazil.
That shit freaked me out. What the? What? What the hell?
The footage shows a mysterious woman who looks very confused as she's crossing a rain-flooded road. What makes the footage so strange is that the woman seems to be slowly disappearing. She looks incredibly pale and is walking through the heavy rainstorm with hardly any clothing. And eventually, she just disappears. Now, normally I would just dismiss this clip as some strange video compression artifact, and I'd probably say that the digital camera just wasn't keeping up with her movements. However, a few moments later in the video, a motorcycle speeds down the same road. Unlike the woman, the motorcycle is completely visible, even though it's traveling at a very fast speed. Likewise, the truck in the footage is completely clear. Brazilian video experts are baffled by the bizarre footage. However, locals believe that the strange woman might be the ghost of someone who lost her life on this small stretch of road. And their arguments are fairly compelling, because just why was this woman walking around out in a storm in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, on a dangerously flooded road? Let me know what you think. Nukes Top 5 viewer Jesse Worthington emailed me directly about a video he recorded of some bizarre CCTV security footage. The video shows something Jesse and his friend Sarah just can't explain.
I would somewhat agree with you if somebody was recording
really explain it
but that was CC footage, dude.
No, just let it play normal.
Okay.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't just go into CC footage and do editing tricks. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You can't go into CC footage, security camera, those things. It's not how it works. Trust me. All right. I run server rooms that have all the tape and everything that runs CC camera footage. You do not just go in there and start doing CGI. It doesn't work that way.
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look how tall they are.
Whoa.
Hold on, I gotta go back on
wait
this
till
one.
she slows it up. You see.
Jesse and his friend Sarah just can't explain. And I can't really explain it either.
No, just let it play normal.
Okay.
Didn't do slow?
Yeah. Whoa.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look how tall they are.
Whoa.
That ain't nothing. Wait till she slows it up. You see the face. Right there, that was the face.
No, not yet.
There it was.
It's coming right there.
Yeah, it was.
See right there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like I want a shot from this too. From this, when we do. Oh. Whoa.
That ain't nothing.
Yeah, hey.
I just see light. I don't see like anything. Like it could be somebody just poking around with a flashlight.
Yeah. Right. There. See that?
There
Back
you go.
there.
There you
Uh-huh.
Whoa. No way.
The recording shows a bright light seemingly peeking from behind a house in a suburban neighborhood. The bright abnormality changes shape as it appears multiple times. Then it seems to morph into two separate lights and just floats away and disappears. A group of friends watch in disbelief. Jesse thinks that it might be some kind of entity accidentally captured on CCTV. As for me, I've honestly never seen anything like this. But just what do you think? Could it be swamp gas, ball lightning, a very odd electrical discharge, or something else entirely? Let me know down in the comments. In another video captured on CCTV, Reddit user Lazy Ray Scallion explains that her cousin sent her a creepy video that was recorded in the conference room of a casino in her hometown. Redditor Lazy Ray Scallion also claims that human remains were found during the construction of the casino in which the conference room is located. The video is chilling.
Just a little shadow walking by in the conference room.
Just as the clock hits the midnight hour, a shadow-like transparent figure can be seen walking from one door to the other in the back of the conference room.
One in front of the other.
Again, I might dismiss this video as a camera glitch, but notice that the figure seems to appear through a closed door and exits through another closed door, which makes the footage very compelling. But is it real, or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. A scary night at the movies. In this next video, popular Chinese ghost hunter Xiao Long and his friend Xiao Shen are exploring an old theater in northern China that has been abandoned for at least 40 years. The two friends find old machinery, projectors, and films dating back to the 1980s. It's unclear why the large theater was abandoned or why so much expensive and collectible film equipment was left behind. As they explore the creepy building, the two ghost hunters try to lighten the mood and joke around as they find the women's restroom.
看，那个鱼你吗？车是我是吧
Are you woman? Are you ready? We are here.
Oh God. These guys are clowns.
Woman, we are here. Welcome to 女传说.
Xiaolong and his friends speak English as they jokingly call out to the spirits that might be lingering inside the theater, or at least the ones lingering in the women's restroom. But after the fun and games, things start to get a bit creepy. When they find the seating area and explore the theater's enormous stage, something seems to be there with them. Something terrifying.
封闭似的，怪不得他妈这老他妈那啥了。哎，我这是啥呀？我操你妈，是影吗？滚你妈逼！别吵！我操，没了！哎，我操！我操你妈！
Fuck your mother. There's two of them now. It's hard to freak out when these guys are screaming like little bitches. That is creepy though. That dude's running away.
Xiaolong and Xiao Shen watch in horror as two mysterious unexplained figures appear right behind the theater screen. When they run to investigate, there's no one there. They search, but they can't find a logical explanation for what they just saw. And then things go from bad to worse.
Oh boy. The whole army of those motherfuckers.
是我们俩。我鸡巴堵了，后边反光，哪反光
Oh, what was that? Oh no, never mind.
那不可能是咱俩。啊！我操！啊！我操
I didn't. What? I missed it. Oh, the chair.
操你妈！
Fuck your mother.
谁呀？谁？啊！我操你妈！
He's gonna have to go back over that. I missed. Oh, the door slammed.
操你妈！
Yeah, it's hard to, like, it's some freaky stuff happening, but it's hard to. Oh,
我操你妈！
what is that? I'll get put.
不行了！我操你妈！龙哥，别鸡巴去了！怎么？过来！我没事的，过来！我操！谁？
The entire front row of the theater seats flip down on their own, and then the theater door closes. The two friends are then led on a wild goose chase as they pursue something that seems to slam doors shut right in front of them.
That's crazy.
Unable to find the source of the strange activity, they return to the theater's seating area.
I didn't see all the chairs flip like that. That's insane. It's one thing if you see one, but all of them?
Oh, this is. I操！那是，哎我啊！这开脸行，哎，我操了啊！我操你妈！
A pale figure seems to be watching them from one of the windows on the third floor. They charge up the stairs, but the mysterious apparition has disappeared. Back in the seating area, they demand the presence show itself, even going so far as to call the ghost a coward. It did not go well.
让我出来呀！
I missed it.
操你妈！操你妈！操你妈！我操！我操你妈！操你妈！操你妈的！
A small bucket lying on the floor seems to move on its own. So, obviously, they proceed to kick that bucket's ass. As you do when there's a haunted bucket. But then things get much more serious and downright terrifying.
我操！我操！
Did the lights come on?
哎，兄弟们，快在上面！啊！我操！
I don't. Oh, the shadows. Oh yeah, you better get the fuck out of there. Holy shit. Yeah, that's it. It's time to get out of there.
Even though there doesn't seem to be any electricity in the rest of the building, the theater lights seem to be powered and suddenly turn on by themselves.
Oh, yo, fuck that.
Even more horrifying, they illuminate no less than 6 dark, shadowy figures lurking in the seating area, seemingly watching Xiaolong and his friend from the darkness. The two explorers are absolutely horrified, but things get even worse when all the lights suddenly turn off, including the explorers' handheld flashlights.
That is some
Once
freaky
Xiaolong
shit.
gets his flashlight working again, the two make a run for it. You can watch this full exploration over on the YouTube channel, Outdoor Xiaolong. And by the way, I wanted to say there was a fake YouTube channel pretending to be Xiaolong's official channel.
Hello， 我是户外小龙，在这里我郑重告诫，频道户外小龙铁粉皮儿，你已经严重了侵犯了我的隐私权、品牌权以及版权，请立刻停止你的。以后我的视频将会在户外小龙幽灵猎人唯一官方频道展出，以及友情授权的 Next Top File。感谢 YouTube 上面的每一位粉丝对我的喜欢与支持。
So if you were subbed to the other channel, definitely go subscribe to his real YouTube channel, Outdoor Xiaolong. There are all new videos there, and they even have English subtitles. The Belshaw House Haunting. In the 1870s, in the small California mining town of Cerro Gordo, California, 2 children were playing hide and seek in the house of wealthy local businessman Mortimer Belshaw while he was out. The children hid in a large steamer trunk in the master bedroom when the latch became stuck, trapping them inside. Tragically, the 2 children suffocated inside the steamer trunk.
Ugh.
Cut to modern day. Visitors and workers at the historic Belshaw house in Cerro Gordo claim that the ghosts of the 2 children still haunt the home. Sometimes people hear the sound of children laughing and running, but other times they hear terrifying screams and banging. Many visitors who have slept in the master bedroom claim to have felt a strange heavy pressure on their chest. So, friends Brandon, Corey, Corbin, Elton, and Matt from the YouTube channel TFIL traveled to Cerro Gordo to spend the night investigating the creepy Belshaw house. The group decides to leave Corey and Matt all alone in the allegedly extremely haunted master bedroom.
It did not go well.
It did not go well.
I knew
Matt lies down on the bed and is surrounded by cat bell toys that shine colorful lights when touched or moved. Corey sits down next to the bed, and the 2 investigators begin to ask questions directed at any spirits that might be haunting the old home. A static camera records as they soon begin to experience some very creepy activity.
If there's anyone here with us, can you give us a sign? Did you just f***ing hear that? What'd you hear? You're joking. What'd you hear? Dude. What'd you hear? Over there. What'd you hear? Where all the nights... I felt like I heard or something, dude. Oh my god, I thought for sure I was making that up. You just said, can you give us a sign? And it goes, I thought for sure I made that up. Like, I thought for sure I was like you heard that in your head? Yeah. No, I heard that. If that was you, could you give us a knock or maybe light up one of these balls on the bed? Are you hearing this over here? I didn't hear that one. Dude, I'm freaking out, bro. If you were a boy, can you knock 1 time? And if you are a girl, can you knock 2 times? You heard that shit over here? You heard that shit? You heard that, right? I thought it was 1.
Corey and Matt both hear a strange sound that seems like a deep breath. Not once, but twice. The creepy EVP is then followed by the unexplained sound of knocking. The 2 friends begin to get a bit freaked out by what they are hearing in the dark room. And then, things get much worse.
What? Something just pulled my chair. Oh! Dude, are you serious? And then something just pulled my shirt. Are you serious? Whoa! Dude, no. I'm not even kidding. Are you serious? Was this open? Yeah, that was open. Dude, I felt the chair go like that, and then as I stand up, I feel my jacket go like that. How hard was it? Oh, dude. And the chair was like this. I'm not even kidding. Like, as I'm sitting on it, I felt the chair creak this way.
Corey jumps up, saying that he felt like the chair he was sitting on was being moved around and that something was pulling at his jacket. What the two don't know is that the static camera in the room captured something that they couldn't see. Something absolutely terrifying. So, did you see it? Right before Corey jumps up, a strange white figure can be seen floating towards him and then disappearing into thin air. Now, I'm not entirely sure what to think of this bizarre figure other than to say that it does look very odd. So I leave it up to you to decide. Is it real, or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. You can check out this full video over on the YouTube channel, TFIL. Thanks for watching. Please follow me on Instagram here and on Twitter right there.
Gotta love the music. That one was pretty decent. The guy in his house, that was scary. That was, and the thing of it is, that guy's had some of his other videos on Nukes before, and those have been creepy too, but that was the worst one. And then the theater one was funny and creepy at the same time. And then what was the other one we saw? The woman walking in the rain was pretty eerie. Yeah, that dude needs to leave that apartment. It's all donezo. It's not just what's going on, Hayes. Yeah, it's not just the it's not just popping up in the mirror anymore. It's just popping up right in front of his face. Yeah, that shit was creepy. The barn. Oh yeah, that one? That one, yeah, I mean, it was spooky, you know. Oh, yesterday, yeah, the little girl getting pulled under the bed a la Poltergeist. Yeah, that shit was creepy. He says it's following him if he goes anywhere. Maybe. What's going on, CB? Hasn't been that long. Weren't you here the other day? The theater ghosts must have laughter. I know I would have. They're literally sitting in their chairs watching these two fools. Yeah. I think the best one was the guy in the house, and he literally, yeah, that one was creepy. I know. Right in front of him. The ghost followed the guy from an island. It's not going anywhere. Did it say that? I didn't hear that. Is that what it said? Abe Lincoln is coming back for revenge, guys. They just wanted to watch Godzilla vs. Kong. Is that what it was? I should have known. You know the full story. Where'd you learn the full story? I want to read the full story. If a ghost ever appeared right in front of me, then I would be looking for an exorcist. No, I liked it, Reese. Oh, thank you. Can you really see it from there? Superman shirt. The thing had massive smile on its face. That thing wasn't a ghost, it was a demon. Yeah, whatever it is, it was scary. Let's just put it that way. It's in Spanish channel, Dros Rodsank. Wow, he's been dealing with that shit for 2 years? Yeah, it's Superman. Bigger horror channel in the Tom. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that one and the taxi cab one yesterday was fucking crazy. Yeah, I didn't see it at first either. Then he did the replay and they all flipped, and I was like, Whoa, that's fucking freak. I would freak the fuck out. I would have left right there. I wouldn't have had an opportunity to see the lights pop on or the ghost in the seats. I wouldn't have been able to see that because I would have left right there. It's probably a woman who died dressed like that. And, you know, that's why she's got a black skirt on. But you couldn't see her eyes. Like, I don't know if it was her hair or if it was just something covering her eyes, but Rob, will we watch ghost channels other than Nukes? Just wondering. We've tried, but they tend not to be as good. I mean, not every Nukes video is a good one, but he seems to have some of the best ones. Like the one yesterday was really good. And this one was one of the better ones as well, for the most part. There was a stretch of time where we were watching Nukes once a week, and I would say there was like a 4-week period where the videos just weren't that great. Rob, need a ghost comp link from this dude named Blizzard who has good videos. What? What do you? I don't know what you mean there. Smile. Funny, I turned on my AC and my camera didn't turn off, so I think my theory is right. When shit starts moving on its own, I'm out. Yeah. Have you seen the classic one where all the hands are coming out of the wall? Definitely fake, but super cool video. No. Is that G1 Optimus up top? I don't believe it is. I mean, it is, but it's not one of the original figures, like old school. Like it's a G1, but it's not like the old school made. What would you do in that situation if the ghost from the house appears right in front of you right now? Say 10 Hail Marys? No, that was it, because I'm going to be logging off soon. It's already almost 11. I'm one of those people where if I hear even a small little noise, I'm literally calling someone and staying right at their house. Yeah. I seen that video. Some say it could be CGI. Which video is this you're talking about? Yeah, you know, it's funny. I hear a lot of people throw out CGI like it's something that anyone can do and that it's easy, and it's not. Like, I get it. I get skepticism. I understand that. But I've done CGI. I know how hard it is. I know how time consuming it is. And even if you're more than halfway decent, even if you're decent, the CGI likely won't come out that good. To get movie quality CGI, you need software that costs about $10,000, and you need a computer that can render in a decent amount of time. Otherwise, it's not worth it. So, you know, again, I'm not saying people shouldn't be skeptical. They should be skeptical. But you gotta investigate the skepticism. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta actually look for reasons. You can't just throw out CGI like anyone can do it. Not everyone can do CGI. And even people who could do CGI, not many people can have the tools to make it that good. The amount of money you need to do CGI as good as some of the shit we've seen is not cheap. I mean, you talk about thousands upon thousands of dollars. And who's spending that much money just to make a 5-second hoax? It's not worth the trouble. Yeah, especially live footage CGI. Come on. I could easily make it with Adobe Premiere, but it doesn't necessarily debunk it. Well, there's no way you could debunk that with CGI because it's a CCTV camera. You cannot video edit those. I have worked in numerous server rooms that have CCTV servers. First of all, there's not even a monitor attached to those. They're giant servers with cassette tapes in them that you have to replace every 48, well, depending on how much footage you're running, you have to replace it at least once a week or two. So it's not like you can attach it's not like you can attach a monitor to it, install Adobe After Effects, and start doing CGI. It doesn't work that way. That's not how it works. Those are server that have tapes in them, so you can have the hard copy, and then they store a digital copy into the cloud. You cannot edit those. That's why every time we see CC footage and people are like, oh yeah, I can do that with Adobe. I'm like, no, you can't. Because it's a CCTV footage. You cannot video edit those. It is against security protocol in every company that ever existed that has CCTV. First of all, you can't do it at all, period, even if you wanted to. And even if you manage to, you're losing your job. I mean, again, I know there are people out there who love doing hoaxes, and some people have done some good ones. But I don't know anyone who's going to do a hoax to the point where they would jeopardize their job. It just doesn't make logical sense. But even if they could, and even if they could get away with it, they wouldn't be able to do it on a CCTV. The woman walking in the rain just looked so computerized to me. The movements didn't look natural at all. I mean, again, you can't modify those films. You just can't. They're literally on cassette tapes too. You know what I mean? It's basically a big server. I mean, it's like a rectangle shape, but it's a long server. It's not like a traditional computer. It is specifically made to store footage, upload it to a cloud, and then also store it on a cassette. A cassette with a lot of you could go like a week recording on those before you remove them and replace it. Everybody acts like CGI is easy to pull off. It's not, man. CGI is fucking hard. It's not easy. What's today? Friday? Tomorrow. I'm gonna look for I have actual movie quality copies of Maya and 3ds Max. These are programs they use to make movies, special effects, and CGI. Okay? They were training software that I got when I was in college. I was only able to use them for like a year, and I got them for free. But if I wanted to get retail copies of those, you know how much it would cost to buy both of them? Like 20 grand. And I could tell you, even with the best software, when I was in college using it, it ate the shit out of my fucking computer. And the CGI that I did was not good and took 16 hours for me to make a clip that maybe lasted 4 seconds. Man, CGI is fucking hard. It is hard. Someone should leak the camera footage to the UFOs. It might have just been a simple glitch, or it was a ghost. I don't know. It wasn't a glitch because they showed they showed a motorcycle drive by in the same spot, and they showed the truck turn in the same spot. And the footage was fine. You know, there's nothing. If you don't want to believe in ghosts, that's fine. But not everything has to have an answer. It's okay to just walk away and say, I don't know. Me, I say ghosts because I've had my own personal experiences, so I know they're real. Gonna have to play some video games tonight before I go to bed. After that ghost popped up in the camera, oh man, that scared the shit out of me. Whew. Can you tell us your personal experience? I could, but it's on the channel like several times. Just go watch the video. Just look for the one with the Ouija board. That's the one. Rob, can I get a good look at that Godzilla behind you, the legendary one? Oh man, I feel like I've shown this one like a zillion times. There you go. Play Doom? Nah, I got a couple other games I can play. Should tell the story, Rob, of your ghost. Is this that I've told the story like 10 times? So, you know, it's like I said, it's on the channel. Just look up Ouija board. It's like 20 minutes. I give you the whole story. And then there you go. Yeah, Resident Evil 2. Do you have an experience in your life that might not be paranormal, just unexplained? No, it's just paranormal. Like, I'm not, and don't take this offense to this, because again, this is, some people are just programmed this way. I am not the kind of person to be closed-minded to anything outside of our ordinary lives. I just don't think it's that simple. I don't think life is that simple. I don't think the galaxy is that simple. And I think, in my personal opinion, it is human arrogance to think things are that simple. I've already accepted that we're not the center of the universe. We are likely inferior to something higher, whether it's paranormal, whether it's aliens, whether it's both. I already accept and respect that idea. I actually don't like how arrogant mankind is. You know, one of the examples I use all the time is like the whole save the world and the whole save the world movement and saving Earth and the climate change and all that. Like, I don't see how the human race could even think for 1 second they could make a difference on this Earth. And I'm talking about saving the Earth in and of itself. Number one, when you look back at what this planet has gone through versus what we've done to it, we haven't done shit. This planet spent millions of years being bombarded by asteroids and meteors, and still here. This planet literally collided with another planet, still managed to stay here, and that other planet eventually became our moon. This planet has had volcanic eruptions, has had numerous mass extinction events. And the idea that we think we could save this shit, we don't even know how to take care of each other. We are still primitive and savage in many respects, despite the fact that we've come a long way. We still have a long way to go. So the idea that anyone on this planet can think they could actually contribute to saving it, not realizing exactly what this planet has survived before we even got here, is extraordinarily arrogant. Exactly. So, yeah, because of that, I do believe aliens exist. And not necessarily because of any kind of conspiracy, just the sheer number. When you look at how large the universe is, when you look at all the planets out there, the idea that there's that much out there and not any other planet in the not any other planet in the universe is populated. Now, whether or not aliens have come to visit us, all right, you can definitely put that into question. I don't think it's 100% convincing that they have, but I think there's a better chance than most people realize. I also think a lot of it is fear too, right? Like I don't think a lot of people want to accept the fact that there might be something out there better than us that can do more than we can do, and that could probably wipe us off the face of the earth with a snap of their finger, a la Thanos. But you know, I don't think we should dismiss the idea that it could happen. I don't believe in that stuff because I'm Christian, but before anyone tells me why it's not true, I don't care what you think is wrong or not, and in some ways I think aliens might be real. Well, I believe in God and I'm Catholic. I try to understand science and religion together. Like, science believes in the Big Bang Theory. Catholics believe in God creating the earth in 7 days. Personally, I believe God made the Big Bang Theory. Why not both? There's no logical reason why religion and science can't intertwine. It's just that both parties are too stubborn to work together. Science likes to science, and Catholic, like, it's almost like they're both too overly burdened with their beliefs. Catholics and Christians, or any religion for that matter, those who are heavily involved in it are too heavy on their beliefs to accept anything else other than their religion. And science is no different, but on the other terms. They believe there's a scientific theory or reason for everything other than something of a higher order. That is what I mean when I say people are too arrogant. I like to believe that they both intertwine. I believe God created us, but I also believe he created us with the capability to come up with the knowledge to resolve and solve things with logic and science, with the gift that was given to us by what we believe in is God. There's no reason why they both can't coexist. Until humanity learns how to coexist on many different levels, not just with each other, but in their beliefs, and learn how to compromise, we're never going to go anywhere. And that's it. And that's why we are where we are. Yeah, we might be advancing technologically, but what good is that if as we advance technologically, we're not advancing our minds on a more spiritual level? You know what I mean? If anything, we're becoming more dumb. We're becoming more brain dead. We walk around staring at our phones like 6 hours a day. You know what I mean? We don't interact as much as we used to in front of each other. So, you know. Well, I'm not talking about that necessarily, James, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I got to get going too. I don't want to start getting preachy. Otherwise, I'll be up another hour. It's usually these kind of conversations that pop up on Q&A Tuesdays, but I know we didn't do Q&A this past Tuesday. If you believe that God created us, does that mean you don't believe in evolution? Oh, no, absolutely I believe in evolution. Why would me believing in God prevent me from believing in evolution? I don't think God is as complicated as most hardcore religious people make him out to be. You know? Think about how some religions think about how Catholics and Christians explain God. They talk about his mercy, his love, this and that. He created you and he loves you and this and that. But if you don't listen to him, you'll burn in hell. Does that sound like anyone that loves you? Does that sound like somebody that's forgiving? I don't think, that's a very complicated view. How do you quantify that? How are you going to convince anyone, and unfortunately people get convinced by this, that someone could be so loving and so forgiving, but if you do something wrong in your life, you burn in hell? It doesn't work that way. I've had enough spiritual experiences that I believe there is a God. I choose Catholicism to follow, but I don't truly know which God is God. It could be a God that nobody really practices, and maybe it is the one true God. But what I will say is, I believe God is loving, is caring. I do believe he'll judge you for what you've done, but I don't think you'll burn. I mean, it's not even that I don't believe in hell. I think you have to be fucking horrible in your life to burn in hell. But I don't think if you have premarital sex, you're going to hell. You know what I mean? I don't believe that if you don't confess your sins to a priest, you go to hell. You know, plus, if I can talk to God, why would I confess my sins to a priest? Men are flawed. It doesn't matter how long you've been practicing religion. It doesn't matter how successful you've been at abstaining from sex. Just because you pass a class and you wear all black with a white collar does not bring you any closer to God than me. So if I confess my sins, I confess it to the man himself. And I never ask God for anything. The only thing I ever ask for God is to guide me. That's it. That is it. I ask him to watch over my family, and I ask him for guidance. Every prayer I ever say is almost the same. I'll say, God, watch over my kids, my wife, my family, my parents, my sisters, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, I say to him, all I ask is that you just guide me in the right direction at all times. That's it. That is it. That's all. I don't ask him for a car. I don't ask him for success. Even when I go on job interviews, I'll be like, God, just help me do the best I can. I don't ask him for the job. And you want to know something? You guys know how long I struggled to find a job, right? It took me almost a year to find a job. I was frustrated. There were times, you know, that I was getting emotional, frustrated. I was getting upset. I mean, I obviously never saw this on stream, but this is how it was for me for daily. And as long as it took, as painful as it was, I got, not only did I finally get a job, but I got a very high paying job. One of the highest paying jobs I've ever had. And complete with benefits and everything. And that's why I always say God is my provisioner. He doesn't always answer the call. He doesn't always guide you. You don't always see the guidance right away, but eventually it does work out in the end. Rob, where did he learn all these life lessons? I don't even know if it's life lessons. It's just always what I believe. Well, I have a very spiritual family. I've always been spiritual. You know, I have seen some terrible things, but I've seen some good things. And I have seen enough, I guess if you want to say paranormal things, to believe that there is a world beyond this one. Whether it's a physical plane or a spiritual plane or both, one way or another, we're going to see one of the two, if not both. So, you know, I'm not going to lie. I would like to know if aliens exist before I die. Like, I want 100% confirmation. I have a feeling they do. I feel confident when I say they do, but I want to see it for myself. Yeah. Do I think Godzilla exists? There's my answer. Here's my answer. All right. Love you too, Tyler. Thank you. Yeah, on my screen he exists quite a bit back there. All right, guys, that's it. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Yeah. We can talk more about this tomorrow if you want. So, be an interesting conversation. All right, guys, have a good rest of the night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, tomorrow's stream might be late, or it might be on time. I don't know yet. We're supposed to go watch fireworks. The problem is they don't allow pets. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know if I'm going to stay here with Raven. I don't know if I'm going to leave her in a kennel, like in her little crate. I don't really like that. So I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't decided. So I'll let you go. But I'll definitely be on tomorrow. It's just that I might either be on super late or I might be on regular time. So I'll keep you guys posted on Twitter and Facebook. All right. Have a good one.
Stop when the clock hits 13. You've been working, but you're flirting with the weekend. You can freak out. 1 in a million. You're a gem shine when the light grows dim. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. We got the right stuff. We put the hammer right down. Wanna be like us? You better stick around. If you want it, you gotta prove it. Like we do it, like we do it. Groove with your hips and break it down. Stop when the clock hits 13. You've been learning and you're earning all of those hours. You can freak out. 1 in a million. Gonna shine bright and you never go dim. Sing it 1, 2, 3, 4. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. We got the right stuff. We put